Inspiration in perspective. Express yourself. Good morning, my neighbor. Citi FM, your station. It's a refreshing lifestyle. Citi FM, 97.3.
Six 27, one of my favorite songs from the Joyful Way family. With all the negative stuff we hear, the good news is that Christmas is not far. Today is today 12th or 13th? Today is the 13th, right? So technically we have 17 days to the end of November. And then we have 31 days in December. So if you add 17 to 31, that's how much? 48. So we have 48 days to the end of the year. You can do a lot in 48 days, trust me. You can start a new business. You can begin a new project. You can actually develop a new habit. A lot of times we talk about habits from the perspective of stopping something bad. I think you can develop a new habit. You can decide to read a book every day between now and the end of the year. You'll be amazed how much you know. You can decide to leave one WhatsApp group every day. You have such peace of mind. You won't believe it. Oh yeah. You can decide that you won't do social media posts for the next 48 days. You'll be surprised how young you look. There are so many things you can do. You can decide every day you wake up early 1 hour and pray. You will be surprised how much you will learn. So 48 days to the end of the year. It doesn't take God an eternity to do what is eternal. So you don't need 1,000 days to do what is important. So look at the year that way. You can divide it and say, look, I have 17 days for November to end. So there are a couple of things I can begin in November. Then I can use December to complete it. Yeah. So let's have that perspective. And you can use that in running your company as well. Your financial year doesn't need to begin in January. In that, it does not begin in January. In fact, you can start new year tomorrow. You can say, Charlie, from tomorrow, this thing, I'm not doing it again. That's your new year. Because new year is not a date, it's your decision. So don't wait for this. Because in fact, by 31st December, you're even tired. 1st January, you've forgotten. So you can say today is the 13th of November. From 13th November, I have given my life to Christ. That's all. It's a good beginning. So have a different sense of perspective and time. So you have 48 days to start all over again. That's Business Sense, brought to you by Stanbic Bank. Now, some see challenges, we see opportunities. Where others spot risk, we unlock value. At Stanbic Corporate and Investment Banking, we partner with businesses driving Ghana and Africa's growth. From energy to mining, infrastructure to trade, we finance the ideas and enterprises that empower economies. Our partnerships with market leaders in the energy, trade, and mining sectors prove that when ambition meets expertise, growth is inevitable. Call 0302-815-789 to speak to our CIB team or visit stanbicbank.com.gh to get started. Stanbic Corporate and Investment Banking, driving growth, creating sustainable impact.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
No matter where we are, Africa always calls us home. And here in Ghana, the call is clear: to power growth and create lasting impact. At Stanbic Corporate and Investment Banking, we are creating giants and connecting businesses. From financing bold energy projects to enabling cleaner, reliable power for industries, we are fueling Ghana's transformation. With our support, Gensa Energy is delivering sustainable energy that powers Goldfields operations, helping them move closer to cleaner, greener mining. This is a story of how we bring businesses together, create jobs, empower communities, and invest in the next generation. Stanbic Bank, delivering sustainable growth, creating impact. To learn more, visit stanbicbank.com.gh.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
And in a sense, it was sort of a good coincidence that the finance minister is acting as the defense minister, because yesterday he had to go to parliament to explain what happened. And I feel like he needs, I don't know what budget he has prepared to give today, but if you see over 20,000 young people thronging a venue, and I'm told the whole exercise nationwide is recruiting about 4,000 people. That's what they're looking for, right? And Accra is almost 25K. So if you look at Kumasi and all the regions, so obviously maybe hundreds of thousands of people, right, who want this job. So if there are 100K people and you have just 4,000 spaces, right, and then the chaos. I always say that if you want to see leadership, one effect of leadership is the absence of chaos. So if you see chaos, it means the leader is not working. And I really want to say that the armed forces have failed the nation. They failed the youth of Ghana. They failed their own reputation. Because for many, many years, we used to say that, Charlie, as for soldiers, they're only a discipline pound, you know. But these days, I see soldiers urinating on the road. These days, I've seen some before. So I want them to take a hard look at themselves to say, if this is the image, if this is what the most disciplined institution globally can do, then if we journalists or what other group is going to do, then it will be, if this is how to manage a recruitment process in 2025 by the most disciplined institution in the world, then we don't have a chance to survive or to develop. So I think that the leadership of the armed forces should really send an apology to Ghanaians on what they've done. And I'm sure we'll discuss this later on. But I'm saying that the defense minister acting, who is also the finance minister, should also think carefully about what to do about unemployment. Because the number of people, and we spoke to some of them, some say they came from Ashaiman, some came from wherever, speaking very good English, obviously well educated, having worked for years, looking for a job. To be so desperate to mass up in this way is serious. It is very, very serious. And Sky, there are more people waiting to enter the job market too.
Charlie.
More. When you go to Intako and you see the number of young people in SHS, and you come to Accra and realize that nothing is happening.
Charlie.
So we have to wake up and stop the useless politics and think of long-term solutions to create opportunity for young people. Otherwise, we are all dead. Anyway, gentlemen and lady, welcome. Let me not take the wind out of your sail. Let's. Good morning. This is Richard Sky, by the way, and this is Francisca Kakra Fossen. My name is Bernard Abla. You're listening to Citi Breakfast Show, and the newspaper review segment is brought to you by Fidelity Bank. We have the Sika Boom Reloaded promotion. You can save 500 cedis or more and win up to 100,000 cedis in the grand draw. Every deposit of 500 cedis gives you more chances to win 5,000 cedis every month. Visit any of our branches or agent points, deposit in multiples of 500 and win big. Fidelity Bank is here for your journey, Sika Boom style. What are the newspapers saying?
Well, our condolences to the bereaved, and then also families of the bereaved, and then also we wishing the people who are still in hospital
5 in
speedy recovery.
ICU, and then 12. They say fairly critical. I'm not sure what those things mean, but fairly critical means it's serious. I think there were 30-something people who were injured or who were casualties in the thing. 6 died. 5 in ICU. That's intensive care.
Yeah, that's critical.
And then there's 12 in critical care. And then the rest are recovering or whatever. It's a very serious situation. So let's start with the Times.
The Ghanaian Times says Black Wednesday, 6 die in stampede over military recruitment at Elwalk. This is the very stadium that the Ghanaian Times wrote about just last week, and I was complaining about the state of that particular facility.
You were complaining yesterday?
Yeah, and yesterday, yes, I was complaining about it.
Did you know anything? I didn't know.
No, I didn't know about it. I was just raising concerns, and here we are. Now, also the front page this morning, we're told that 637 new doctors, dentists inducted into the profession, and then 350 arrested in joint police military galamsey swoop. And the president is on the front page talking about
Nkuko Nkitinkiti project.
Yes.
Okay, I'll take you to the Daily Graphic, and they also have the story, the big story for today: military enlistment in Accra on hold. 6 die, 5 in critical condition, 5 injured in Kumasi as well. Other stories on the front page of the Daily Graphic: President Mahama launches Nkuko Nkitinkiti initiative, 3 million birds to be distributed nationwide to benefit 60,000 households. Also, lithium agreement laid in Parliament, but minority calls for its rejection. And budget presentation, COVID-19 levy to go.
The Chronicle says this morning, who born dog? Military police hit back after attacks on Galamsey Task Force. 1,050 suspects rounded up in Dawn Soup. Some photographs here on the front page of the newspaper. Also on the front page, government must boldly declare position on helicopter crash report. And Tim Forger, the minority spokesperson on defense and interior, talking. And Mahama to military, halt recruitment exercise.
I'll stay with the Daily Graphic a little longer. On the back page of the paper, 260-kilometer road projects begin in Upper West, East regions. Comes with pictures showing President John Mahama cutting the sword for the commencement of the road project.
All right.
Finally, from me, the Hawk newspaper says fake gold kings caged. Nanaba Chris and 23 to spend 2 weeks behind bars. Also on the front page this morning, Akosia Sewa scores big. Menshia sacks Amankwa committee delays Lumba burial. That's a big one.
Daily Guide also has the devastating story. GAF recruitment stampede, 6 females dead, 22 injured. Other stories, new lithium agreement bad. That's according to Samuel Jinapo. 191 arrested over a Heat police station mob attack. Helicopter crash victim's wife in court. And also AG to call 4 witnesses against Wuntumi.
Let me take you online and give you a few headlines. Mustafa Amit sues OSP for defamation, demands 20 million cedis. This is citynewsroom.com. Elwak tragedy, Bagwin demands recruitment system overhaul. We all know Atufosin will present the budget today. Meanwhile, Kenala Buaji to government release full report on August 6 helicopter crash. Professor Jekum is calling for advanced flight tech to prevent future tragedies. In other headlines, Ghana's youth unemployment poses security risk. This is Peter Tobu on yesterday's incident. And Mahama to support 50 anchor farmers with 80,000 birds each. If you go to Channel 1 News online, Acto Forcing presents budget today. Team Fodjo says a wax stampede could have been avoided. Bosome Frewo MP says US deportee incident a diplomatic embarrassment. Meanwhile, Labour Minister rejects shoot to kill calls under Galamsey and urges rather strong action. Also, Bureau of Public Safety is calling for full helicopter crash report. So lots of people are calling for that. If you go to the same website, Babin is also calling for the appointment of a substantive defense minister. He's the latest to join that particular chorus. If you go to Major Online, what to expect as Atu Forcing presents 2026 budget today. Supreme Court orders AG Democracy Hub to justify positions on Ghana-US deportation deal. Meanwhile, Stampede at Baba Yara Stadium leaves many injured, or 5 injured during military recruitment. So this happened in Kumasi as well. And then fire sweeps through Malamata Market at midnight. There's some really cool analysis done by the High Street Journal. It says, from fear of the barracks to desperation at the gate, the Elwak tragedy and Ghana's harsh reality. And then Katz International makes strong case for the amendment of Ghana's Public Order Act in relation to the Elwak stampede. And then economists say government must break away from the gold trap warns of looming danger. This is in relation to the 2026 budget. A few quick stories from BBC. The fallout from Nigeria's spectacular $25 million museum and the Benin bronzes. Don't forget, in Ghana as well, the British and the South Africans are bringing back artifacts stolen many, many years ago. And then how jihadists have brought a nation to a standstill with their fuel blockade. Sky, people in Mali, particularly Bamako, have been paralyzed by a fuel blockade which has disrupted transport, schools, hospitals, and more. The thing is that a lot of things are happening within the Africa region, but we don't cover it that well. You know, there's a major atrocity happening in Sudan. There are issues in Burkina Faso we haven't reported, and Mali is essentially at the brink. Let's get into the details of the paper this morning.
Let me tell you about the story that came in yesterday, Black Wednesday, 6th in Stampede. The story is by Bernard Bengan. On page 3 of the Ghanaian Times, says at least 6 people have been reported dead, with scores injured following a stampede at the Elwak Sports Stadium in Accra yesterday during the Ghana Armed Forces 2025-2026 recruitment exercise. Now, the tragedy occurred when thousands of applicants eager to participate in the enlistment process surged forward as the stadium gates opened, causing injuries and fatalities. Now, the injured were rushed to the 37 military hospital, where some later succumbed to their injuries. Now, the remaining victims continue to receive emergency care at the hospital, while security personnel managed the crowd and blocked major roads to facilitate rescue operations. And then we're told that the president later directed that the exercise in Accra be suspended. You find that on the front page of the Chronicle this morning. Details are in the newspaper where the president, the story says, page 2, you find that President John Dramani Mahama has directed the Ghana Forces to immediately suspend its ongoing nationwide recruitment exercise following the tragic stampede at the Elwak Sports Stadium in Accra that left 6 people dead and several others injured. Now, speaking at the launch of the Nkuko Nketim program in the Ashanti region, the president described the incident as deeply regrettable as a quote, and ordered a full-scale investigation into the matter to prevent future occurrences.
give us more angles to the
Okay,
story.
so in the middle page or the center page of the Daily Graphic, it reports Parliament calls for reforms in security recruitment process. President visits victims. The story by Joyce Timbila Awuni reads, Parliament yesterday paid tribute to the 6 young persons who died at the Elwak Sports Stadium in a military recruitment exercise for the Greater Accra region. They sent their condolences to the bereaved families of the deceased and wished those on admission speedy recovery. The parliamentarians also called for reforms in the Ghana Armed Forces, especially in the recruitment process, urging further decentralization of the process to forestall such fatalities and unfortunate incidents. The MPs further admitted the daunting challenge of youth unemployment that confronted the nation and resolved themselves to work together to find lasting solutions to the menace. But if you go to page 4 of the Daily Guide, they have an editorial
What are they saying?
titled A National Tragedy. There are 2 paragraphs I'll just bring. Aside detailing the facts of the
What
event,
happened, yeah.
yes, of what happened, they say, just like in the case of the chopper incident, this too was avoidable.
Oh.
A blunder in crowd management.
Oh.
Were this to have happened in some jurisdictions,
Oh.
resignations would have been announced,
Ah.
failing which heads would have rolled.
True.
We are in a digital age where technology should leverage upon all human endeavors. Many questions will justifiably be posed by Ghanaians as to why the surge was not envisaged
Oh.
and adequate measures taken to obviate the incident which occurred.
Meanwhile, 5 people were injured in Kumasi, Baba Yara Stadium. That seems to have gone under the radar because of the deaths in Accra. But many websites, for example, Graphic Online is reporting that 5 young people were injured during a stampede at the ongoing Ghana Armed Forces screening exercise at Baba Yara Stadium. On Wednesday, the Ashanti Regional Minister, Dr. Franco Akwene, has confirmed. According to him, the victims sustained varying degrees of injury and are currently receiving medical attention. He described the incident that happened as unfortunate and assured the public that measures would be taken to prevent similar occurrences during further recruitments. Guy.
Okay, so I want to tell you about the position of the Speaker, Bagwin. He said something really beautiful that I think we should think over. Recruitment into the Ghana Armed Forces must be a continuous process.
Yes, please.
Speaker Bagwin, Maxwell Ofori, reporting on page 2 of the Chronicle, says the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagwin, is calling for a continuous process of enlistment and recruitment into the Ghana Armed Forces. According to him, the current system of annual or biannual recruitment and enlistment results in the accumulation of potential personnel, which comes with its security challenges. But I want to also draw your attention to a brilliant editorial in the Chronicle this morning. The last 2 paragraphs, the headline actually says, Elwak Tragedy and the Unemployment Time Bomb.
Oh.
It says that the Elwak tragedy should never have happened.
Oh.
But this memory must not fade into yet another new cycle of condolences and blame. It should become a moral turning point, compelling those in authority to recognize that behind every brown envelope clashed at the stadium was a story of hope, hardship, and hunger for dignity. Ghana's youth deserve more than sympathy. They deserve opportunity, fairness, and a government that values their potential before tragedy strikes again.
Very important. Now, something minor, I won't say that minor, but there was a train that hit a person and killed him on the Temampakadan rail. It was overshadowed by yesterday's events, but a middle-aged man was crushed to death by the Temampakadan moving train in the Bediako enclave close to Afienya in Greater Accra region Wednesday evening. A video footage captured by the train's camera shows the man, whose identity was just to be confirmed, walking on the rail tracks as the train approached. Despite frantic attempts by the train operator to sound the horn, the victim continued to be on the track and was hit before the train came to a stop. The Ghana Railway Development Authority has expressed regret about the tragic incident. And then I feel like we need a bit more education for people on how they relate with rail lines. But let's come back to you on roads and transportation.
Yes, so on the back page of Daily Graphic, 260-kilometer road projects begin in Upper West, East regions. The story reads, President John Mahama has cut sword for major infrastructure projects in the Upper East and Upper West regions, declaring that it is a historic day that signals the rebirth of hope and the restoration of fairness for the people of northern Ghana. The president performed the sword-cutting ceremony on Wednesday in the Upper West regional capital, Wa, to usher in the northern segment of Ghana's flagship Big Push infrastructure program, aimed at promoting balanced national development. The project will see the construction and upgrading of over 260 kilometers of strategic roads to transform the northern transport corridor. Key among them are the 37-kilometer Wa Bulenga Yala Road, the 70-kilometer Wa Han Tumu Road,
Very important.
and the 50-kilometer Tumu Navrongo Sandema Road. A significant feature.
Hold on there. So this is road. These two roads they've mentioned links Upper East and Upper West. Now in the past, if you're leaving maybe Bolga to Wa, you have to come all the way down through Tamale. So this Wa Tumu to Navrongo Road is a very critical road which has been in a terrible state for years. And I think if it is done, it will open up that part of the country very much.
So a significant feature is the dualization of the YUDS City Center Road, aimed at easing congestion and beautifying the regional capital. And the projects also include bridge works over the Kanyigbe and Bechilihu rivers.
Wonderful.
Talking about what the president is doing to make Ghana a better place, if you go to page 13 of the Ghanaian Times, there's a story about Nkukon Kitinkiti project taking off. 3 million beds already in. And then the story says that it's actually from Princely E. Hope, Julius Yao. They put together the story and they say that President John Dramani Mahama yesterday launched the Nkukon Kitinkiti initiative, a government flagship program aimed at boosting Ghana's poultry industry. That is designed to bring poultry production directly to the doorstep of every Ghanaian in schools, homes, and communities across the country. Now, targeting 60,000 household poultry farmers across all 276 constituencies of the country. 3 million birds are expected to be ready in the next 6 weeks for the Ghanaian market. Now, it is the flagship element of the poultry industry revitalization program of the broader Feed Ghana initiative of the government. Now, the other legs of the poultry revitalization initiative are the poultry farm to table project and food systems resilient program. And yesterday was a beautiful.
He's saying he's targeting 75% poultry sufficiency. This guy, that's a big number. We will hold him to it. The president yesterday has announced an ambitious plan to increase Ghana's poultry self-sufficiency from the current 12%, which means we only consume 12% local poultry. 12% self-sufficiency to more than 75% by 2028 as part of government's renewed drive to achieve food security and reduce dependence on imports. The president said the project in Nkukon Kitinkiti forms part of the broader Feed Ghana program, as you said. So they will distribute 10,000 day-old chicks and etc. 75 is a very big number coming from 12. So then don't forget, the minister said to us on the show 2 days ago that this is just for the informal backyard people, that there's going to be middle scale and large scale poultry farmers also supported. So we are waiting to see this.
Talking about government initiatives locally, there's a beautiful story on the back page of the Ghanaian Times. Local production of antiretroviral drugs to commence soon. Now, Benjamin Actintete reports from Pram that Atlantic Life Sciences Limited, a sterile pharmaceutical company, located in the Ningo Pampran district of the Greater Accra region, has urged the government to support its operations to enable it to contribute to the growth and development of the health sector. And according to the Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Danne J. Tripathi, the company, since its establishment, had provided employment to the citizenry, partnered with the academia to undertake various research works and produce vaccines to help fight against the disease. And we're told that they are engaging in local production of antiretroviral drugs. Very, very soon.
Okay, if you go to page 13 of the Daily Graphic, the COVID-19 levy to go. This is about the story concerning the budget that will be read today by Finance Minister on the theme resetting the economy for the Ghana we want. The story by McLean Kofi reads, the Minister of Finance, Dr. Cassiel Atufosin, will present the 2026 budget and economic statement of the government to Parliament today amid heightened expectations among residents, various groups and stakeholders for their interest to be satisfied in the coming year. The budget, the second of President John Mahama in his second term, is expected to allocate significant resources to many flagship programs while meeting the demands of labor, some of whom have either embarked on strike or issued notices of impending industrial actions if their demands are not met. For instance, the government is expected to allocate 30.8 billion Ghana cedis for the implementation of the flagship infrastructure program Big Push, up from the 13.85 billion allocated in a 2025 budget. President Mahama said this in WA last Tuesday. The $10 billion Big Push infrastructure project is expected to draw on all the oil revenue allocation to fund the annual budget. Other initiatives that would receive attention would be the 24-hour economy program, the establishment of the Women's Development Bank, the National Apprenticeship Program, the Ejumara program, the Digital Jobs Initiative, the Agriculture for Jobs program, and the Rapid Industrialization for Jobs program.
Okay, still talking about government programs. I take you to page 7 of the Hawk newspaper. We won't collapse your jobs. Tamaklo assures gas dealers as new cylinder model kicks off. Now, the National Petroleum Authority and the Ministry of Energy and Green Transition have moved to calm jitters in the LPG trade, promising a phased rollout of the cylinder recirculation model that will not wipe out existing businesses or cost jobs. Now, speaking at the launching of the NPA's 2025 Consumer Week in Shaiman, here in the Greater Accra region on Tuesday, NPA Chief Executive Godwin Aduji Tamaklo insisted that the CRM will run alongside the current refill system, so investors and small operators do not lose out. Now, it goes on to say that there's a quote here that says it is wrong to use policies to collapse people's investment.
Fair enough. Now, release full report on August 6 helicopter crash. Colonel Abuaji Festus, who is a security analyst, urged the president administration to release the full findings of the investigative report into the August 6 helicopter crash that claimed 8 lives, including senior government officials. His calls followed briefings by the committee tasked with probing the incident, which presented its final report to the president and gave highlights of the report at a press briefing. Speaking on a point of view yesterday, Colonel Abuaji said transparency was crucial given the importance of the tragedy and the public interest it had generated. And he basically says they need to release their report. He also criticized the handling of the recruitment exercise by the military yesterday. Sky, almost every week somebody's calling for buffer stock to do something. Now, this one is vegetable oil and palm oil producers. Buffer stock orders local sourcing of all vegetable and palm oil for schools.
Yeah, the president also directed in connection with eggs for the school feeding program. Yeah, so all kinds of directives are coming. We hope that they materialize, though. But quickly,
there's an interesting story. National Cathedral.
Yeah,
a young man sent government to court on the payments made for National Cathedral, and the Attorney General, in defending the state's position, is almost justifying the actions of the previous finance minister. That's a very interesting story.
That story is captured on Daily Graphic, page 11.
Seriously?
National Cathedral payments approved by Parliament. That's according to the Attorney General. And Jibril Abdul Razak writes, the Attorney General, Dr. Dominic Ayene, has clarified that all payments towards the National Cathedral were made lawfully, contrary to a writ at the Supreme Court challenging the constitutionality of the payments. According to the Attorney General, the payments were made under the contingency vote, which is the category under other government obligations, and not from the contingency fund as alleged by the plaintiff to the Supreme Court suit. This is contained in the Attorney General's statement of defense to a suit filed by a private citizen, Jonathan Amable, challenging the payments, and is seeking multiple declarations against government over what he describes as unconstitutional financial practices.
He's the same gentleman who raised issues about treasury bill auctions by government without going through Parliament. And I think it's very important for us to see the end of the litigation, because litigation can be very useful in public policy discourse. So keep an eye on this particular case and others he has filed in the Apex Court. But this is quite revealing, because then a lot of things that were said by the NDC in opposition about the National Cathedral, how do you then say that the current AG is justifying those payments when people campaigned and said that the finance minister didn't use the right approach? So it's a very interesting situation. Now, if this matter hadn't gone to court, we wouldn't have even known the position of the AG on this issue. So keep an eye on the matter. I know, but it's not a problem. It's not about the determination. It's the fact that the AG gave evidence to support this position. It's very interesting. I mean, of course, there will be cross-examined and all of that, so we'll see how that goes.
No, this one constitutional law. So it is really...
And they don't even know cross-examination. Okay. So
anyway,
they will go and decide what to decide.
Let me take you to page 3 and just quickly draw your attention to the story, Whom Born Dog. The story is by John Bediako, related to the military and the police. It says police and military on Wednesday conducted massive coordinated dawn sweeps across the country, where security personnel, state officials and journalists in line of their constitutionally mandated duties came and attacks from hooligans.
So he consolidates the 3 issues and then all the actions the military has taken. Some of which should be commended, we should say. But of course, the recruitment has left a bad taste in everybody's mouth. Thank you, Richard Sky. Thank you for Kakakra forcing. Coming up next is City Business News. Stay with us.
Sika boom. Fidelity Bank say save and win. Muntio. Sika boom. Just deposit and begin. Sika every 500 CDs you keep for a month, you get 1 point all at once. More deposits, gets more points in. More points, more cash you feel win. How many points? 1 point every 500 CDs. What if you win? 5,000 CDs monthly. And the grand prize? Hey! 100,000 Ghana CDs.
Don't wait. Visit any Fidelity branch or agent nationwide to deposit in multiples of 500 CDs. The more you deposit, the better your chances to win 5,000 CDs monthly and 100,000 CDs in the grand draw. Terms and conditions apply. Win with us. Fidelity Bank, believe with us.
Sika boom.
This is an NLA approved promo, now running on the Caritas Lottery platform.
Oh, jump on now.
Go, go. Go me. And what time will you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car?
No, I not change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mindset be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open them.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, then make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my gobe inside?
I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small.
Go.
Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
City Business News at 7. Nashika Caesar has the details. Good morning.
Good morning, Bernard. Hello and welcome to the breakfast edition of the City Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, Valex Lease and Equip Limited and EcoBank. I'm Nashika Caesar. Coming up, market watchers anticipate fiscal discipline as Finance Minister prepares to present 2026 budget to Parliament later today. Also coming up, Chamber of Agribusiness Ghana welcomes government launch of Nkukon Kitten project, and later Ghana's fixed income market set to anchor Africa's capital markets integration. The details of our stories now. As the government prepares to present the 2026 budget later today, attention is turning to how it will sustain revenue growth and control spending while easing the tax burden on businesses and consumers. Market watchers are keenly observing whether fiscal discipline can hold after a year of cautious reforms. Emmanuel Opong reports.
One of the most anticipated announcements is the scrapping of the COVID-19 levy. 2025 has been marked by restraint and recalibration, which is expected to feed into the 2026 budget. However, total revenues and grants for the first half of 2025 reached 116.2 billion cedis, that is 5.5% below target, but still up by 22.9% year on year. Government also kept a lid on expenditure. 131.1 billion cedis, or 9.4% of GDP, was spent in the first 7 months, below the 152.6 billion cedis target, reflecting improved expenditure control. For the full year, total revenue and grants are projected at 223.8 billion cedis against the total expenditure of 269.1 billion cedis, about 20.7% of GDP, a significant improvement from the previous year's 26%. Though no new taxes were introduced in the 2025 budget, several unpopular ones, such as the e-levy, Burton tax, and emissions levy, were scrapped, while others like the growth and sustainability levy were reviewed and extended. The government also began digitizing the modified taxation system to improve compliance and efficiency, one of its boldest steps towards widening the tax net.
They advise against introduction of any new nuisance taxes. We've seen that nuisance taxes do not work. They do not help businesses. It creates unnecessary tension. They don't bring in the revenue as you expect. So instead of working on new tax expansion, let's rather work on administrative effectiveness. We need to resource the tax authorities to ensure they're able to identify each taxable income and then tax it properly.
As many market watchers will be looking for clear spending priorities, analysts say fiscal credibility more than fresh tax measures will define investor confidence.
There is a lot of things happening now that shows clearly that if we achieve our targets for the year and we do things right, I mean, our economy can only get better. Of course, there are other geopolitical external factors that are beyond our control. But so far as the Ghanaian economy is concerned, the stability that is being built now is expected to further strengthen as we go into next year. And
you heard economist Professor Festus Ebu-Texan ending that report by Emmanuel Opong. Again, on the budget, importers and exporters are urging the government to scrap certain levies and reduce specific tax rates, particularly the COVID-19 levy and the special import levy in the forthcoming budget presentation by Finance Minister. Here is the Executive Secretary of the Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana, Samson Asakia-Wingobit.
We want to see the COVID levy being abolished. We want to see the special import levy being abolished. We want to see the rate at the port that customs are using now. If you can give us for the next 4 months or 3 months, that is what I mean is that a fixed rate. We want to also see if the Minister of Finance will give us this tax, the alignment of the taxes, especially the COVID levy.
Samson Asakia-Wingobit is the Executive Secretary of the Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana. Still on the budget, peasant farmers want government to establish an agricultural development fund to effectively address unexpected challenges in the sector such as food glut and dry spells. Daniel Odumensa has more in this report.
According to the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana, the government must do more to safeguard the agricultural sector against post-harvest losses. This follows an escalating crisis in Ghana's grain sector where over 1.2 million metric tons of rice, maize, and soybeans remain unsold across farming communities. The glut has been blamed on poor market coordination, restrictive policies, and increasing imports that continue to undermine local production. Although the government has released funds to the National Food Buffer Stock Company Limited to purchase the unsold produce, the acting executive director of the association, Bismarck Norte, believes establishing an agricultural development fund in the upcoming budget is the best long-term solution.
We will be expecting to see the budget to create something like an agricultural investment fund, a fund where we are able to mobilize resources and keep them in the fund so that in the year, if there are any unanticipated shocks within the sector, we can now use the funds to address those particular shocks. So whether there's a dry spell ongoing or whether there's a glut or whether there's any sort of emergency that we didn't plan for, then we can now rely on this fund.
That report was filed by Daniel Odumensa. Now, traders in Yendi in the northern region of Ghana are expressing hope for a reduction in the prices of goods and services ahead of the national budget presentation.
Though inflation has reduced, but prices of goods are not coming down. Suppliers are still hold on to the fact that those goods they have or the stock they have were old stock, and for that matter, prices, they don't reduce prices for us, and that replicate what we also do here. here we are doing wholesales of plastic rubber bags. So once the prices hasn't reduced, and then we also buy at high price, we are compelled to still sell at the same price.
So we expect that they should come in with good ideas that can help the businessmen, the other people in this place.
Those were some traders at Yendi expressing the expectations ahead of the budget to be presented later today. Moving on, the Chamber of Agribusiness Ghana has welcomed the government launch of the Nkukon Kitin project, which will initially provide 50 anchor farmers with 80,000 birds. At the launch, President John Mahama explained that the project aims to produce over 4 million birds annually, a move expected to boost local feed demand, create employment opportunities and strengthen market linkages between producers and processors. Here is the CEO of the Chamber, Anthony Morrison.
This is just the start. What they have to do is to increase the numbers of anchor farmers in the next disbursement, and that will be fine. Continue to increase the numbers. If these numbers are increased to 200 anchor farmers across the country, then that means that we'll be getting to somewhere 2 million birds plus. So that'll be fine. If you ask me, the 50 and the 80 figures being quoted is perfect. What we need to do is to make sure that the feed are all produced here in the country.
Anthony Morrison is the CEO of the Chamber of Agribusiness Ghana. Now, Ghana's fixed income market is fast emerging as one of Africa's most credible and resilient bond platforms, with 214 billion Ghana cedis in turnover so far in 2025. According to the Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Johnson Isiama, the milestone marks not just a recovery from Ghana's recent debt crisis, but the beginning of a new era of regional financial leadership. Speaking at the 10th anniversary of the Ghana fixed income market in Accra, Dr. Isiama said Ghana's bond market is now well positioned to anchor regional capital market integration under the African Continental Free Trade Area framework.
If trading volumes can rebound by over 100 billion within 2 years of crisis, then a deeper, more digital, and more diversified market is not too ambitious. It is our next logical step. But leadership will depend not on ambition alone. It will depend on execution, transparency, and continued coordination between all market actors.
That was Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Johnson Isiama. Now, on the interbank market today, the dollar is selling for 10 cedis 96 pesos, while the British pound is going for 14 cedis 39 pesos, and the euro is going for 12 cedis 71 pesos. And that's it for the breakfast edition of the City Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, Valex Lease Equip Limited, and EcoBank. I'm Nashika Caesar. Many thanks for your company. Do have a great business day.
If you know these sounds, you didn't just live through the 90s. You lived the experience. Back then, connection took minutes. Today, it takes a blink. You express yourself with memes. You hold video calls across continents. You say hey to an AI who responds,
"Hello, Kwame."
You order rides, dinner, and dreams all from the palm of your hand. A lot has changed, so have we. For over 3 decades, EcoBank has evolved with you, leading digital banking in Ghana and across 33 African countries, pioneering solutions built around how you live, move, and dream today. From our express points to EcoBank Pay, online banking, and the mobile app, we are where you are. Here for today, ready for tomorrow. Now, that's change, powered by EcoBank.
EcoBank, a better way to bank your way. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
We asked Ghanaian business owners what they want from Old Mutual.
I want insurance and pension solutions that will protect my employees.
Your business growth is our business. For 180 years, we have partnered with businesses to protect and grow their most valuable assets. From tailored group life assurance protection to affordable pension plans, we've got your business and your employees covered. Contact your broker or call Old Mutual on 0509 551 609 today. Old Mutual, do great things every day.
Announcing Ghana's first unlimited photocopier leasing. Yes, from just 983 Ghana cedis, you can lease a multifunctional photocopier and print unlimited. Yes, unlimited and free paper every month. Guess what? That's not all. Toners, repairs, and maintenance all are free. And oh, I'm not kidding at all. And we cover the whole country. Yes, the whole country. What are you waiting for? Just visit us at www.valexlease.com or call 0244 644048. I repeat, or call 0244 644048. Remember, terms and conditions apply. Valex Lease, affordable document management solutions.
Hey, Ruben. Every 2 seconds notification. The Momo keeps on coming. It keeps on coming, eh?
Ma, I am the community Momo man now. People send money, and with the Momo app, every payment is done. My transactions are flying.
Hey, Aden.
Ma, you didn't know, eh?
Over 2 million Ghana cedis is up for grabs in the Stillman Saka promo. Transact more than 100 Ghana cedis with your Momo app, and you could win daily, weekly, and monthly cash prizes, and 100,000 Ghana cedis grand prize. And it's not just payments and money transfers. Bank to wallet transactions, savings, loans, investments, pensions, POS transactions, and Momo transactions from other partner platforms qualify. This promo runs in collaboration with the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform. Terms and conditions apply.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
October 2021, I give my heart and make I love. October 2022, they break my heart for my domain. I dey for backseat of my Rover. With my dealer, we dey talk about the moolah. But you dey for backseat of your Rover.
Unleashing the power of regular radio. This is Citi 97.1.
Call me. If you get wahala, make you call. When you knock me billing, I go forfeit. Cause you feel to shake me when you don't. I dey for backseat of my Rover. With my dealer, we dey talk about the moolah. You dey for backseat of your Rover. With Anita.
7:16, Valex Lease is calling the attention of offices, schools, print hubs. You don't need to buy photocopiers when you can lease and print unlimited. Valex Lease Equip Limited is Ghana's first unlimited photocopier leasing service. From just 983 Ghana cedis a month, you can lease a reliable multifunctional photocopier and print unlimited with free paper included. You will enjoy free toners, cartridges, free repairs and maintenance across the nation. So stop spending big on machines, switch to Valex Lease and keep your cash for what matters most. ValexLease.com is where to visit. 0244 644048 is the number. Remember, customized payment options are available. EcoBank has pioneered a range of digital-first banking solutions designed for the way we live today. From the mobile app EcoBank Pay Express points across the country, EcoBank is right where you are. EcoBank is truly a Pan-African bank. And to the boss ladies, MTN has crafted a new business bestie for you. Special data call bundles is what you get to stay connected to your customers and everything that keeps your business going. It comes with an insurance package as well. So dial star 5060 hash now, grab your Jumapa bundle, and let's get to work on your success story together. MTN and Jumapa, powering women in business. Kickoff is coming your way shortly. That's brought to you by Lesheho Ghana and Shell.
Hasta la figu, I'm waiting this so. Mo telemundo, I no fit to. Say me have I know. Who said money can buy love?
Lesheho Ghana is 15 years old. For 15 years, you, our cherished customers, have trusted us to improve lives. We are looking forward to do more of that in the coming years. Thank you for being with us every step of the journey. Simply call or WhatsApp Nana on 02700 4799 for any of our financial solutions. Asheho Ghana, 15 years of improving lives and still counting. There is great news from Shell. When you visit any of our stations for an oil change at the Loop Bay, you receive 10 free car checks, and that's absolutely free. As you heard me, you get to relax in a waiting area with refreshment while your car gets top quality care and treats. If you are at a Shell that has no waiting area, we give you a free gift. Visit Shell, make your oil change pleasurable for you and your car. Terms and conditions apply. Shell, go well. Edwin Kwakofi is in with kickoff.
Good morning and welcome to the Thursday edition of Kickoff on the City Breakfast Show with me, Edwin Kwakofi. In this bulletin, we'll touch base with the Black Stars camp in Japan where they're taking part in the Kirin Cup. We'll also hear from Yusuf Chipsa, who is with the PFAG, on the status of Sule Muntari. And also, we'll hear from Fatau Dauda, the Black Stars coach, who says, goalkeepers coach, who says his position was based on merits. Kickoff was powered by Shell. Shell go well. Politangana is on the GH and Lesheho. Let's improve life. Welcome back to Kickoff. We start with former GFA Exco member Samir Nim Ado, who has dismissed reports suggesting that former Black Stars midfielder Sule Muntari was arrested in Dubai. In an official statement, Nim Ado said Muntari is safe and currently residing in Dubai, where he's focused on his personal affairs and business activities. He urged the public to disregard the false reports making rounds in sections of the media, stressing that the outlets responsible for spreading the misinformation must retract their statements and issue an apology. Earlier, we spoke to the head of player relations at the Professional Footballers Association of Ghana, Yusuf Chipsa, who said the association had taken note of the reports and were reaching out to sources to provide clarity on the matter.
The news this morning, but I don't have details. I saw the headline. I have not read the article yet, and I don't know what he's been detained or arrested for. So we are yet to dig. I mean, we've called few people among ourselves. Our president Samuel Oseku for our general secretary. So we try to get more information as to the authenticity of the news and to see how best we can also play a role.
That was the head of player relations at the Professional Footballers Association of Ghana, Yusuf Chipsa, and he also indicated concerns ahead of Ghana's games against Japan and South Korea, noting that results could affect the country's FIFA rankings ahead of the 2026 World Cup. He added that the absence of key players remains a major concern for Coach Otto Addo.
Yeah, I do agree. As I said, those results will definitely have an impact on our international ranking. So it's very important that we are mindful of the results, no matter what else we want to do. I know the coach would also want to try some new faces. I mean, we've qualified for the World Cup, so as from now, it's preparation towards the World Cup, and he definitely needs to see some other players. But I think it would have been nice if we had Kudus. I can understand if Pate or Jordan should be there, would have been nice, because I don't want us to deplete the team that much in order to make excuses and when we get the results. I mean, it's preparatory stages yet, yes, but for the fact that it's going to have an impact on our international ranking, we need to be very mindful.
That was a PFAG's Yusuf Chips staying with the Black Stars, and the goalkeepers trainer Fatau Dauda says his appointment to the national team is based purely on merits, not his past as a player. Dauda, who was Ghana's first choice goalkeeper at the 2013 African Cup of Nations, insists he earned the role through education and hard work, not reputation. Speaking ahead of the Kirin Challenge matches against Japan and South Korea, he added that his coaching journey has been years in the making.
So I started coaching 2022 by going to Right to Dream to learn coaching. Right to Dream is a university of yes, because they develop coaches they did a lot for me. That's where I went and I realized being a good footballer doesn't mean you can be a good coach without learning coaching. So I started my coaching career, let me say 2022. Within that time, I had a chance to join the Satellites, the under 20. I was there and they called me. So I want people to know that I'm not coaching the national team because of who I was before, like being Fatah Dauda, because I'm into coaching. I've learned and I'm still learning. So people shouldn't feel like, oh no, Wada national team, I'm a coach. It's not like that.
The thoughts of Black Stars goalkeepers trainer Fatah Dauda. Now let's head to the Ghana Premier League, where Kumasi Asante Kotoko were held to a goalless draw by Vision FC in their outstanding Ghana Premier League fixture. The head coach of Kumasi Asante Kotoko, Abdul Karim Zito, admitted his side was wasteful in front of goal, but says he's satisfied with the point, which lifts the Porcupine Warriors to 7th on the league table.
We were very, very wasteful at the third end of the Vision is. We created some chances. We should have scored at all costs, but we were not focused. So, but at the end of the day, I'm okay with the one, because this is a league, and you go to play an away game, and you don't win, and you lose. I don't think it's good. So, to me, I'm content with the one, not because of anything, but the way the game went, I think I'm content. Content with the one goal.
Abdul Karim Zito is the head coach of Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Let's head international, where Nigeria Super Eagles have resumed training ahead of their crucial 2026 FIFA World Cup playoff against Gabon after briefly boycotting over unpaid bonuses. The players had refused to train in Morocco, where the match will take place due to delays in settling their allowances and appearance fees. The issue has since been resolved, with Captain William Troost-Ekong confirming in an expose saying, quote, "Issue resolved, outstanding financials cleared, and on ground, team is united and focused as before on representing Nigeria with our maximum for the games ahead." Now let's move to England, where Chelsea boss Enzo Maresca says the team is finally heading in the right direction. The Blues are third on the Premier League table with 20 points from 11 games after 6 wins, 2 draws and 3 losses. Maresca admits there was plenty of pressure at the start of the season, but believes the team is now fully focused on refining their style of play.
As a club, we go in the right direction, for sure. There was noise around the club from different things. Now, I think it's quite good feeling that all the noise around the club is just about the football and the way we try to play, the way we try to get results. I try to adapt. I try to change things. I try to evolve, maintaining the same idea. So I think again, day by day. Session after session, game after game, we need to learn and we need to evolve.
Chelsea boss Enzo Maresca, Arsenal winger Bukayo Saka has dismissed concerns that the Gunners are struggling in the title race after a 2-2 draw with Sunderland. Despite dropping points, Saka says their squad remains positive and confident going into the international break.
People's opinions and thoughts about us change like the weather. The most important thing is the change room, how solid we are, the foundation we have, the belief we have in ourselves, and how we stick together through the good and bad. That's the most important. We can't pay attention to the external noise because it's always fluctuating. So yeah, we're good, we're in a good place, and now it's time to focus on international duty.
Arsenal winger Bukayo Saka. Now, Brazil head coach Carlo Ancelotti says ego is an essential ingredient in modern football. The 5-time Champions League winning manager, who has handled clubs like AC Milan, Real Madrid and Chelsea, believes players need a healthy sense of self-belief to perform at the top level.
The ego is an important part in the squad. Personal level, I don't know. I think it's important to have in the squad players with ego. But the ego, individual ego, cannot be more than what is the goal of the team. 2 weeks ago in a press conference in Brazil, I said, and I agree with this, because I said this, and so I said, I don't want to put in the squad players that want to be the best player of the World Cup.
Yeah.
I want to put players, they want to win the World Cup. And so the ego, individual ego, is important to reach the goal of the squad.
That was Brazil boss Carlo Ancelotti. And finally, in the NBA, defending champions, the OKC Thunder, and a blowout win over the Los Angeles Lakers, 121-92. The Denver Nuggets beat the Los Angeles Clippers, 130-116. The Phoenix Suns beat the Dallas Mavericks, 123-114. And the Golden State Warriors were 125-120 victors over the San Antonio Spurs. And that's the latest in the world of sports. For more on all these stories, visit citysportsonline.com. Kickoff was powered by Shell. Shell Go Well, Politangana, Zonda GH, Elesheho. Let's improve life. I am Edwin Kwakofi. The City Breakfast Show with Bernard Avle continues.
If you need unique services, innovative financial solutions, we deliver on our promise, cause we are number one. Let's share go, we improve your life. Let's share go, let's share go, mama, hey mama, hey mama. Even when you're stuck with nothing, no matter your situation, let's share go, we improve your life. Let's share go, let's share go, let's share go, hey mama, hey mama, hey mama. Let's share go, we improve your life.
Do you ever wonder how your car's engine is doing as you drive?
Not often.
Does it feel confident and protected, or is it tired and struggling?
I have a busy schedule, so I leave matters of my engine to Shell V-Power. With Shell V-Power, you can feel confident because it is the best ever fuel designed for performance and efficiency. Shell V-Power removes performance-robbing deposits, so you can feel protected.
Fill up with Shell V-Power at a Shell service station near you. Feel confidence, feel protection, and feel performance over and over again with Shell V-Power. Fuel the feeling with Shell V-Power. Go well.
Join the conversation on the City Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
Make a choice. Go for it. You need support to achieve. A new verse awaits you. The Republic Verse, where you're treated as uniquely as you are. Succeed, thrive, outshine yourself. This is our verse, the Republic Verse. Join the Republic Verse and big up. Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Sankofa, pepper soup where you know, pepper sankofa, sankofa pepper powder, a shishi raw. Sankofa pepper powder, sankofa pepper powder, sankofa pepper powder.
FDA, Aji Ejadi Nkrato Yatum.
Hey there, all enterprise customers. We are rewarding all of you just for standing by us all this while. Simply keep doing the things you've always done with us, like renewing policies, making purchases, and more. The twist, though, you have to do them on our self-service portal via web or the Enterprise Advantage app. Once you log into the portal, access Advantage Points and do any of the transactions you're allowed to do there in order to earn points. The more you transact, the more points you earn. The points you earn can be used to redeem loads of airtime, Momo, and other rewards. It's that simple. Just visit the portal, log in, and enjoy. Visit my.enterprisegroup.net.gh or download the Enterprise Advantage app to get started. Enterprise Advantage points, because nothing you do should be pointless.
Enterprise, your advantage.
Hey, police! Electrician, no, why you done? Only in Cheliguan.
Regina,
I am Shishamukaka, one for cables, a papa and a wire dime. And on a dear Jashia Bayo. How will electricity be so there? I'm a cables near you. And we'll dream up down for a bay. Problems what up? I would uncheck you for some cables. Look at the right certification. And the cables are papa. From a next gen cable metal Ghana limited. Or you made in Ghana. What by ya? For 60 years. When the cables make it to ISO certification. YSP will come house. Or you low small cable. And a fire safety cable. Now, so when you do beer. And to ask when you under next answer. Our quality fire safety cables are papa. And yellow smoke cable. Halogen free cable. Fire retardance cables. And your next cable metal Ghana limited in Casa. No, but Yamo. 030-3304-12 and 3.
Nexon's cable metal. Electricity no get leg. It be Nexon's cable metal cable they carry up.
The luckiest everywhere for everyone. Yeah.
This year is going to be sweet. I don't just feel it, I know it, because the Luckiest Season 3 is back.
And I'm about to show you how to grab your golden ticket. Just dial *712# and follow the prompts to purchase your ticket. Or go to theluckiestafrica.com, hit community tickets, and pick your lucky number.
Or let the system do its magic. Choose how much you want to spend from 1 to 5,000 Ghana cedis. You can even buy a ticket for someone else. Be someone's hero. Payment? Easy. Mobile money in Ghana or card if you're international.
One ticket can turn 1 CD into 500 times more. That's maths we love. Or your community could win 10 times more. So let's get lucky together. Because luck is everywhere.
Play responsibly. Not for persons under 18 years. This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
Whether you're buying water from your favorite spots in Osu, shopping online for the latest styles, or booking your next getaway to Dubai, MasterCard gives you the freedom to pay your way. Insert, tap, swipe, click. So many options, yet so easy. With layers of security protecting every payment, your money stays safe. From Trotro to travel, MasterCard connects you to the life you've earned and the one you dream of. Ask your bank for a MasterCard today. MasterCard. Safe, convenient, priceless.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
This is City 97.
Inti senye biya kai unia Ipabe yebio na so ambe ni nyina Nembo so opportunity ni ba sese oyina Benjo bia Kasi musabe di odoso Wajenje no wa bokwadam Obi baba obi poko na pepe no wa bokwadam Kasi no around Let me see what goes around, me surely come around.
The City Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
I will be a man, you know. I see the parliament, you know. I will run game around. With a pride, and that, with a pride, with a way to move on down that pride, with a pride, and I do that pride, with a pride, and you know, with a pride, and I do that pride, with a way to move on down that pride, with a pride, and I do that pride, with a pride, and you know. What you sow, then you will be low.
So it's 7:38 on the City Breakfast Show. Today is a Thursday morning. A couple of quick birthday greetings coming through on the program. Happy birthday to Mrs. Esther Baba Hagan, aka Auntie Baba of Awudome Accra, and to Mrs. Genevieve Adom Ej, Deputy Manager La Palm Royal Beach Hotel, coming in from staff and management. Genevieve Adom Ej, Deputy Manager La Palm Royal Beach Hotel. Please help me wish my wife, Mrs. Mary Efua Novienyo Tojo or Tojuru, a happy birthday from me, Mauli K1, and our 3 Ks, Kaisierina, Kimathi, and Katharina. So that's to Efua Novienyo Tojuru. Happy birthday to you. Birthday greetings brought to you by MasterCard. Let's talk about convenience and safety when it comes to your money. Do you know that with MasterCard, you have the power to shop and make payments on the go? Well, on lazy Saturdays, you can buy breakfast, lunch, a snack or dinner from your couch, all with your MasterCard. You can even shop locally and internationally with just a tap. And if you're out and about, pay by inserting your card, tapping or scanning. Leave cash in the past, go to your bank and switch to MasterCard today and be on your way to something truly priceless. Well, Christmas came early for those who want to buy a VW. Save up to 50,000 cedis depending on the vehicle you buy from VW Ghana today. Call or WhatsApp us for more information about our range of models, including the Virtus, the T-Cross, the T1, the Allspace, the new Touareg, and the Terramont. Number 025-638-6896. You deserve a brand new car. Take advantage of this offer. It's a promo where you can acquire a brand new German VW with a used car budget, saving up to 50,000 cedis. SNIT guarantees your family and dependents the income security and comfort they need when you're no more. If you're a member of the SNIT scheme and you pass on, SNIT ensures that your nominated dependents are protected and cared for. We pay a lump sum to support them. Take decisive action today. Get enrolled on the SNIT scheme, pay your contributions regularly, and relax knowing that SNIT has your dependents covered in the event of your passing. Call SNIT on 0302 611 622 or connect with us on our socials at SSNIT Ghana. We have 53 branches nationwide. SNIT will deliver on our promise. AGI, in collaboration Ministry of Trade and Agribusiness and Ghana Standards Authority, present the 14th AGI Ghana Industry and Quality Awards on the theme creating a conducive business environment and quality standards for industrial competitiveness in a 24-hour economy. It's on Saturday, 29th November, 6 a.m. at the Grand Arena, Accra International Conference Center. Sponsors include Gasem, Softcare, Regulus, Promasidor, Olam Agri, Wilma Africa, Quali Plus, B5 Plus, Syntex Tank, etc., etc. Call 0244 449 9101 for more information and for tickets for the AGI Awards 2025. For 20 years, Desjoyaux Ghana has helped families turn houses into homes with pools that bring people together. Whether it's a weekend fun, fitness, or relaxation, a Desjoyaux pool is built for memories that last a lifetime. And here's something special. We build your dream pool in just 18 days. Yeah. With world-class French filtration technology, your pool stays clear, safe, and easy to maintain. No need to spend so much money cleaning your pool. Join the thousands of happy families who've trusted Desjoyaux Ghana for 20 years. How do you get in touch? Call 020-260-1650 or 0244-281-349 or visit www.desjoyauxgh.com. Yeah, you know the name. Yeah, 20 years of joy, quality and care, delivering dream pools in 18 days.
My God,
I tell you.
So,
do you know how to swim?
Not yet.
You dive inside, boom. All right, I'm going to turn my attention to the big story from yesterday.
Yeah.
Before I do that, big news from Fidelity Bank, the bank with the widest agent network nationwide. From now to December, Fidelity is making life easier for you with free cash withdrawals, at any Fidelity agent point when you use the Fidelity mobile app. And that's not all. You can now withdraw up to 5,000 cedis per transaction and as much as 20,000 cedis a day. No stress, no long queues. Just open your app, select your nearest Fidelity agent, and cash out in seconds. It's safe, it's fast, and super convenient. So go ahead, download the Fidelity mobile app today. Visit any of our agents nationwide and enjoy the freedom of banking made simple.
Now, kickstart your day with the irresistible chocolatey goodness of Twitsco. It's enriched with NF4, a combination of energy-boosting minerals and vitamins. We have B vitamins, vitamin C, D, iron, and many more. It's going for 2 Ghana cedis. Give yourself and your little ones a treat to rich, delightful chocolatey taste of Twitsco. Don't wait. Get to your nearest store and grab yours today. Twitsco, power your dream. Now, you don't need to travel abroad when world-class education is right here in Ghana. At Lancaster University, Ghana, you will earn a British degree, develop employability skills, and enjoy a campus experience that inspires growth and confidence. You will gain practical skills, global exposure, and access to scholarships that make your dream degree even more achievable. Apply now to study with us. www.lancaster.edu.gh. Admissions at lancaster.edu.gh is where to send us an email. 0248 656 274 is the number to call. Lancaster University Ghana, the only British university campus in West Africa. So Yum Vita infant cereal with milk is making feeding time for babies 6 months and above easy. With 3 delicious flavors, rice, wheat and maize and wheat, baby gets a variety of cereals. Yum Vita infant cereal is enriched with Nutri-V, which contains 16 essential vitamins and minerals including zinc, iron and calcium. That's right, Yum Vita is offering you value for money, so go for good nutrition for a strong start. Now, luck is everywhere for everyone. This is how you can be a part. Grab your phone, dial star 712#, go for option 1, buy a ticket for yourself. Use option 2 to buy for someone else. If you want a system to generate a lucky ticket for you, go with option 1 again. If you prefer to choose your own ticket, please go with option 2. Confirm payment with Momo and you'll be in. For online users, the luckiestafrica.com is where to go. Pay with Momo or your card and you are there. This is your golden chance. Hop on, let's get lucky together.
Anyway, we are taking your comments. I want to, Kakra, I want you to read 2 messages I got yesterday on the tragedy that occurred, the needless death of 6 young Ghanaians. Actually, no. Before you do that, our reporter on the ground, Fauzu Masaudu, spoke to some of the applicants. In this particular instance, this first one saw how some of his colleagues lost their lives. And then you hear from other frustrated applicants at Elwak. Then later on you hear from applicants from across the country. So here's an applicant talking to our reporter about the stampede.
Around 11, that was 11 p.m. So now they haven't yet attended to me.
Came here yesterday 11 p.m.
Yes, I was here around 11 there. Yeah, they haven't attended to me.
And you've been waiting throughout 11 p.m. yesterday?
It's almost 11 p.m. It's almost 12 o'clock now. Yeah, so you can just imagine the kind of stress I've been through. Yeah, still no one is attending to it. So,
what have they been saying? What have the military been telling you?
Oh, they are just trying to let us be in another whereby they can just pick a group of people, then they'll just go and do their own for them. So since morning, some of us just be on the sun. We are unlucky. Let me put it that way. We have been unlucky, so they haven't called us yet. So we are just hoping that they'll just call some of us so that we just finish and go back home.
Have you eaten?
No, I drank water.
There is information about some of your colleagues, some passing away, some, sustaining injuries and all of that. Does that scare you?
Yeah.
Or frighten you?
I witnessed one. Yeah. And then as of now, the girl is always on my eyes, although I don't know her. Yeah, but I can see she's really out of breath. She's just trying to hold my neck, and I'm also suffering. They've tried pulling her out of the crowd, but it's not going. Behold, someone also pulled me. I don't know where their hand came from. I just thank God Almighty that I'm still alive.
Wow. So you witnessed the moment leading to her passing when she was rushed to the hospital?
Yeah, I was not there when they were rushing her, but I saw her when she was just about to lose her life.
Wow.
And also do about it because I was also suffering. It got to a time I don't know where my documents, my bags were.
It should be traumatizing.
Yeah, like that's what I'm going through right now. I feel like I'm also a dead person right now. Yeah, because what I saw in the morning was too much. Yeah, what I saw in the morning was too much. So that's it. I just don't want to talk about it. Anytime so I talk about it, I always see the girl in my eyes. I don't know.
So earlier on, they have to tell us that maybe today we can only work with 100 people. So they will send 100 people message for us to come. But me, I'm working somewhere. I have to plead for permission.
Where are you coming from?
I'm coming from Wager. I'm building at Wager. Then I have to leave site and come here. You said I should come back on Saturday. So on Saturday, I have to ask for permission and come back. It's not even 15th on the calendar, and I have 2 days out of job. How much am I going to earn? I don't know. We just don't have any chance, and it's like I'm even fed up because Charlie, somebody said he has been here for the past 2 years. It's still the same thing, and he's going through the same thing he went through last 2 years. So what is it? So earlier on, they have to tell us that maybe today we can only work with 100 people. So they will send 100 people message for us to come. But me, I'm working somewhere. I have to plead for permission.
Where are you coming from?
I'm coming from Wager. I'm building at Wager. Then I have to leave site and come here. You said I should come back on Saturday. So on Saturday, I have to ask for permission and come back. It's not even 15th on the calendar, and I have 2 days out of job. How much am I going to earn? I don't know. We just don't have any chance, and it's like I'm even fed up because Charlie, somebody said he has been here for the past 2 years. It's still the same thing, and he's going through the same thing he went through last 2 years. So what is it?
And I want to call out on our big men in our country, our Chief of Staff, Honorable Julius Debra, and the Chief of Air Force Staff, the Vice Marshal Frederick Asari-Bekwe. I just want to notice them, not a pose of threat, but I want to understand that when they are aware something like this will be going on, to even instead of bringing such chaotic moments like this, leaving such miserable memories. I just want to bring out something that within the Accra Metropolitan, I don't think Elwak should have been the only sports stadium we should have visited. You know, in Accra we have the Elwak Sports Stadium, the Accra Sports Stadium, the Tema Sports Stadium, and even now we have some mini stadiums in every society. So I think for a better way to solve this problem of this suspension and this whatever postponement, all is not necessary. They should just bring out something like, with the army, they should check the quantity, the number of people coming for the army. Then army people should come to Elwak. The Navy people should go to Tema Sports Stadium. Something like me, the Air Force should go to the Accra Sports Stadium. Something very simple like that. And I don't think we are going to experience this chaotic moments again. So there's all I want to tell. And I seriously want this video to get to our Chief of Staff, Julius Debra, Honorable. I want this video to get to, so that next time, with things like this, I don't think recruitment should be done this way. They have been working for almost 4 to 5 years now. Since Ghana Force was started in 1959, working almost for about 66 years now. I don't think this exercise should have been something difficult, because every year you learn something. In everything you do, you gain experience. You learn something new. So they need to just every day bring out different implements. I think technology should be improved in our country very well. This thing, can I say we need to come here? No. We can just be in the house and just it's.
So those were some frustrated applicants. One from our original story, the other from a sister station, TV3. Let me now take you to the Savannah region, where a few of the applicants also spoke to our reporter, Gazari.
Good morning.
Yeah, please your name.
My name is Adam Ubeida.
From where?
Ashama.
All right. So, what time did you arrive here?
I arrived here exactly 5:30.
5:30.
Yeah.
And have you been able to have access?
Not yet, because the queue is too long.
Okay. And which field and which category have you filed for?
Infantry.
All right. How has been the process from the online to now the documentation and body selection?
For the processing from the online, it wasn't easy. By God's grace, I was qualified for there. So we are about to continue the stages.
I do hope everyone can get access to it today.
Sure. Yeah, everyone can get it. I have the hope.
Good morning.
Yes. Please, your name.
My name is Inusa Hamza.
From where?
From Damango.
Okay. So which of the categories have you applied for?
I applied as a tradesman and as a transport and supply corps. So meaning I'll be going as a driver.
All right. How do you see this year's process? Coming to look at the application stage, and now you are here for documentation and body selection.
Well, the application, it was somehow tedious, but we were able to go through. But due to certain circumstances, the age limit has disqualified a lot. So, but by God's grace, we were able to go through.
Looking at today's process, do you think it's something many can go through? And looking at the process, as some are inside, some are also still outside, with the time frame and the time range, can everyone be able to pass through?
Yeah, somehow maybe they have started, but the queue is not somehow going. But by God's grace, everybody will get his or his own.
And what time did you get here this morning?
My name is Saka Haruna, and I got here around 4:30.
4:30.
Yeah, a.m. Yeah, from Solar. Yeah.
And from 4:30 a.m., you've not had access to the screening point.
Yeah, but we are definitely getting there. Very soon we'll just get in.
You'll get in.
Yeah.
How have been the process from the online to now the body and documentation selection?
Actually, it's going well. You can see everybody is moving on. We are not facing challenges here, and we are actually happy. Yeah.
You are not facing any challenge?
Yeah.
Yes. And is the process moving on smoothly?
I think so.
And which sector or which category have you applied for?
That's the tradesman.
All right, so those were audios from the Savannah region. We'll bring you more later on. Kaka, I wanted you to read two of the comments we had gotten from really angry Ghanaians about what happened. By the way, those of you who don't know, yesterday we lost 6 Ghanaian young ladies who were crushed to death, essentially, in a stampede that happened at the Waxport Stadium, because about 20,000 young people had been invited to come for screening for recruitment into the armed forces, and they died around 6:20 a.m. That's when the stampede occurred. The armed forces sent out a statement explaining what happened. We actually broke the story about the death of the 6, and there were initial reports from our sources that the number was more, but the hospital pushed back and said there were only 6. But they also confirmed that there were 5 in ICU and another 12 in critical condition. The president had to go there to order the stop, or is that the word?
Suspension.
The suspension of the process. And the whole thing leaves a very bitter taste in the mouth, right? And without necessarily prejudice, let's hear what some of these guys are saying.
So the first one says, my worry. I woke up deeply troubled by the events of yesterday that I couldn't help. And for the first time, I actually thought I should stop hiding and maybe even pay for an interview in the studios to speak and share the realities we may be playing or toying with. The problem is multi-layered, actually. 1, while on the field doing sales activations, market women, shop owners, and many concerned mothers kept asking some of my young ladies, and all of them are graduates, why they were selling and not looking to go into security services. I was shocked by this feedback from my team, as they were only selling and nothing seemed to show that they lacked in what they were doing. We were actually paying them 150 Ghana cedis extra per day of activation to these people, and we're feeding them lunch as well. 2, yesterday, upon taking stock of my 32 people I brought from Accra, I realized one had actually left for the recruitment. I wondered what will make a young employed man in an agricultural company leave to go look for employment in security services. Could it be that he can't see that to be gainfully employed is better? 3, this leads to my third concern. Military or security services is a service one chooses to render to his or her nation, not to be seen as the primary source of livelihood. Money should be seen as the consequence of the service, not the primary reason. 4, this can only be the beginning, which is really concerning. over 20 million of our 35 million population are under 25 years, just graduated or yet to graduate, and there are no opportunities for them. This should trouble us all. So I'll proceed to the second one, and it reads, Bernard, Charlie, as a concerned Ghanaian, I'm deeply disturbed by the needless deaths of the 6 young people during yesterday's military recruitment exercise at the Elwak Sports Stadium. This was a preventable tragedy caused by negligence, poor planning, and a failure of leadership. The Ghana Armed Forces must take full responsibility. Why? Because they sold the recruitment forms. By selling these forms, the military knew or ought to have known exactly how many applicants were expected. That knowledge came with a duty to plan, to control the crowd, and to protect lives. They failed in that duty. This is not the first recruitment exercise the military has ever organized. Previous experiences show or should have guided their planning and crowd management. Then there was the decision to mix male and female applicants in one exercise at the same time, in the same venue. That was unsound and careless. Anyone familiar with large crowds yearning to be called or noticed would have known it was a recipe for confusion and danger. And when the sheer number of applicants became overwhelming, the military should have immediately suspended the exercise and reorganized it. Instead, they pressed on until lives were lost. What makes this worse is that the military high command waited for the president to intervene before suspending the exercise. That, frankly, is inexcusable. The armed forces didn't need a presidential directive to see the obvious danger unfolding before their eyes. Leadership means anticipating risk and acting swiftly. They failed that basic test of command. 6 lives are gone. They died not from indiscipline, but from institutional neglect.
I even think if the media hadn't reported that people had died, we would not have seen a statement much early, because their statement, and there was a video of the head of the hospital angrily sort of
dismissing the figure of
to me it's like,
and saying it was 6.
do you understand? It's almost as if the 6,
12.
even if it's half a person who has died. Do you understand? So the mindset of the people was not even to tell us anything. So if it wasn't that we had said that the people had died, I'm not even sure they have come out to even admit that anybody was dead. You get it? Because it was like, oh, you people are saying 12 people are dead. It's not 12, it's 6. As if that's some trophy to be won.
Too many.
Do you understand me? The whole mentality of the people is very, very disappointing and very bad for people who are supposed to be professionals. It shows the disdain for the life of young Ghanaians, that you organize a program like this, you don't even apologize to the public for this disorder.
Terrible.
This chaos. It's unpardonable. And you can't be shouting at us as if we rather have done something wrong. If we hadn't put that story out, I'm not sure the president might have known at the time he was going to come and say that somebody had even died in that thing. It's so bad. They should be ashamed of themselves. And somebody should take responsibility for once. It's not every time that we should say people shouldn't resign. You cannot oversee such things. Look at that. 21,000 people. There's an audio I'll play for you. If you calculate the number of people who were there, how were they expecting to finish processing them in a day? Because the throughput time, it just doesn't make sense. If you have 20,000 people in a stadium like that, in the space you allocate, even if you did one person in 30 seconds, you can't finish. So clearly somebody didn't plan the thing properly. And it's back to the same helicopter thing. We are not precise. We like doing things half-assedly. And it's costing us so many things. Let's bring tech and social media trends. And then we'll see where the chips will fall.
That is brought to you by Telecel and First Bank Ghana. First Bank Ghana is rewarding digital banking. Use the First Bank Ghana app or star 894 hash for your everyday transactions, and you could stand a chance of winning 500 Ghana cedis cash every single week. Star 894 hash or First mobile app. If you're not a part of this family yet, use these same lines to open an account. Star 894 hash or First Bank app on the App Store, and then you are able to get onto it. 0596 921 921 is the number to call. First Solutions at firstbankgroup.com is where to go. First Bank, you first.
Edwin Kwakufi is here with the details. Edwin, welcome.
Thank you very much, Bernard. Good morning, everyone. So, obviously, the biggest news in Ghana, another dark Wednesday, 6 dead, all of them women, and that stampede at the Airwax Stadium. People are talking about a number of things. First of all, the poor handling of the process by the military. Felt it could have been handled way better. Also, the desperation of Ghanaians for jobs. See how people were scrambling over walls to get into facility. How many people actually showed up? It's a huge issue. Unemployment remains a huge issue in Ghana. Also, the mistrust for official processes, because some of them, they were told to go home and come the next day, but they didn't believe that if they come the next day, they would get in. So they wanted to stay, and that's what's also contributed to the stampede. So people sharing various opinions on this, but ultimately it shouldn't have happened.
Even come on air and do an interview and say, we are coming to do recruitment. This is the process. Take your time and educate the people. Let the public know how it works. So that's transparency. You get it? We don't just wake up one morning. Even people who are commuters of the road. Let's assume you even live at La and you're coming to 37. You may not know that morning they are going to be put there. People should even be told that, on the 12th of November there will be something. The thing just happened. Wake up one morning, 20,000 people are on.
Well, I mean, to be fair, they put something on social media to the effect that they intend to carry out this exercise. Except that the whole exercise, I mean, it's not fit for purpose, the way they put it together. In this day and age, it's utterly unacceptable that a government institution, the military for that matter, known for precision, discipline, order, and a structured way of doing things.
Let themselves.
I mean, seriously.
Some people claim that it was part of the training.
No, we won't take that.
Okay, so the 37 military hospital is also trending because President Mahama visited the hospital to visited the victims of the stampede and everyone else. So it's trending. It's in the trends because people are talking about it. Also trending is the Pusiga MP Hajia Ladi Ayi Ayamba, who said in Parliament that, quote, once today is ordained for them to die, they will. And people are taking on saying it's very insensitive to the families.
Was there a reaction in Parliament when she said that?
Yeah,
there were visible reactions from the MPs.
They expunged it from the record.
I don't remember anybody making that application, but again, Hajia, it makes it different. She's a good friend of mine.
That's not even the point.
No, hold on. Hold on. No, she's a good friend of mine. Understand her religion, but you see, you should choose your moments and you should read the room. You may go into a private conversation with someone who has lost a loved one, maybe from the Islamic faith, and express those words of encouragement, if that is what it means. But on a national platform in Parliament, for the record, exactly, when people are still very worried as to where they will find their words, right? You don't rise up in Parliament and choose those words. I think it is regrettable, and if there is anything she should do about this particular situation, by close of today, there should be a statement out telling us that she regrets.
The last thing I need to say about this before you go, sorry to cut in. Do you know we don't even know who the people are? Which for me is even a greater tragedy, because 6 people have died. It was the president who said to us in Kumasi that they were even all females. We didn't know. We don't know their names. We don't know where they live. So it's possible there are families today who haven't seen their daughter and are not even know whether the daughter is dead or alive.
They're worried, yeah.
It's crazy. And you see, for me, the people who organize this must tell us who the dead people are. They must find their names. They must find, because you ask them to bring documents. They must account for the people. You cannot, nameless 6 people. Come on. It just is. If this doesn't lead to any serious reform, then it means you are not ready for development. Please go on.
Also, so we move on to some football news, and Nigeria's players have decided that they will go ahead with their match. They boycotted training for a few hours because of unpaid bonuses and appearance fees. But apparently, according to their captain, William Troost-Ekong, those issues have been resolved. So they will take on Gabon later today at 4 p.m. in the World Cup qualifying playoffs. We move on to Sule Muntari. Yesterday, there was a newspaper headline that said he'd been arrested in Dubai, and the news platforms all over took it up on social media. We spoke to the PFAG, Yusuf Chipsa, who is the head of player relations. He said they are working with their sources to see what happened in Dubai. But then later in the day, Samir Inimado released a statement on behalf of the player saying that all these stories are untrue. The player is safe. He is just living in Dubai, managing his businesses in Dubai. So all the stories of his arrest were untrue, and that anyone who's published it should retract and apologize. Otherwise, you're going to take them on legally.
Cool.
Okay, so today is the budget as well, so nothing to say about that. I'm sure you get into it. Kasel Atuforsin, who is the finance minister, is trending.
Again, ideally, I just want to make a quick comment on that. Yesterday, when I heard about the news of the tragedy, I put out a quick post inviting the government to postpone the rest of the exercise. We should learn to respect the memory of the dead. This is the minister acting for and on our behalf in the defense phase, right? He's the minister for finance. Yes, it is a case that we want to get the budget passed and all of that. But at least, given that he's the man wearing two hats, right? And in view of the tragedy we just saw, I think it would have been fair and proper or appropriate to just postpone the budget to next week, so that we can deal with what has happened, what is before us, and then look forward to fixing the problems of the economy, maybe subsequently.
Well, the military said they've set up a board to investigate the matter, so we'll see how that goes. But thank you. Did you give me tech news?
No, I haven't yet. And it's basically an advice. Over the last few years, there's been conscious effort to digitize our processes. There was no reason for so many people to be grouped at one place. There's a need for us to take advantage of tech. People could have gone through the processes online and appeared at specific points for if it was in-person interviews or whatever, they could have done that at a specific time, so we didn't have so many
presumably
people.
They all have Ghana cards.
Exactly.
So the Ghana card has their
we need
biometric
to improve
information.
our
We spend money to do projects, but we don't use that thing. A lot to be said. Thank you for those points. That was Tech and Social Media Trend.
Auntie T, I beg, fix me go betete Ghana. No gari, no oil, no plantain, just beans then eggs.
Hey, bruh, that be dangerous combination, no.
Problem no day. I feel handle am.
For Telecel, with the Bob say everybody gets what they like. That be why Made For Me bundles day. Based on your usage, you fit get your own data and call packages. Fala! Made For Me bundles like the way you the want them. That *530#, then buy Made For Me bundles today.
Telecel, connecting energies.
You
looking for a bank to rely on? Let me give you a shoulder to lie on. Wouldn't we seek out to bank baby? No lie, only one place where I get my eye on. Make I introduce you all to First Bank, the best services in the world, first rank. Customer service, everything is well planned. I make music, I travel, I sell land. They be my reserve tank. Cause every time I know my money's safe. Universal banking, it's in me here on the date. I'm a busy person, me no many time to wait. Now I got to Spain, even when I'm in the States. My me blue shirt. Me tell me office a chilly, but who cares? Cause I bank with the best. I'm lucky, I'm too blessed. When it comes to First Bank, it's too west. Everything is you first.
Nobody feed do I'm like us. Do I'm like us. First Bank we treat you first. Treat you first. Somebody see yeah. Think about you first. Think about you first.
You first. First Bank.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
Lakeside Estate is calling all business owners, institutions, and HR heads. Want to give your employees more than just a paycheck? Give them a place to call home. At Lakeside Estate, we're making it easy for companies to support their staff with beautiful lifestyle choice and affordable homes through flexible payment plans, staff financing, and mortgage options. Whether it's a 2-bedroom starter home, 3 bedrooms, or a spacious family home, Lakeside Estate has the perfect package for your team. Strong structures, modern finishes, and a vibrant community all are waiting. Let's partner together to give a lifetime value for your staff. Call our sales expert on 050-141-8622 or 050-859-8931 or visit lakesideestate.com. Lakeside Estate, quality homes for all.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, madam.
Is that not my daughter's picture and name on your school's billboard?
Oh, yes.
But why? Is that how things are done?
Oh, madam, but I thought you would be happy to see your child's picture on display by the school. She's a star.
Star for what? Look, take that billboard down right now. My child and I need to know when our personal information is being shared, how it is shared, and what it is used for in any organization. It is my daughter's personal space and her privacy matters. Why would you do that?
Madam, please, exercise patience.
Assert your privacy rights. Request erasure. Restrict the use of your information. You can give and withdraw consent to the collection, usage, and disclosure of your information from any organization. It's your right. It's the law. Privacy is everyone's responsibility. To learn about your rights and more, visit www.dataprotection.org.gh or call 0256 301533. Remember, privacy is personal.
No money and payday is 3 weeks away? How do I fix this? Bank loan, account setup, long process. Nah, forget it. Let me see if Fafa can help.
That was Dada Joe before he called Fafa.
Yes, Fafa from Bank of Africa can sort you out fast. From engine repairs to school fees or side hustle support, Quick Fix Loan from Bank of Africa is here for you. Call 030-224-9690 or chat Fafa at boaghana.com and take advantage of the Quick Fix Loan for salaried workers offered at an unbeatable interest rate with no cash deposit required.
Promo is now extended to 31st December. T's and T's apply.
Hey, Fafa, wait here. Papa.
Bank of Africa, as strong as a group, as close as a partner.
OCM.
If you're hungry and you know it, OCM.
OCM.
If you're hungry and you know it, OCM.
OCM.
If you're hungry and you know it and you really want to eat. If you're hungry and you know it, OCM.
OCM.
If you're hungry and you know it, OCM.
OCM.
If you're hungry and you know it, OCM.
OCM.
If you're hungry and you know it and there's nothing in the fridge. If you're hungry and you know it, OCM.
OCM cereals comes in 3 varieties: wheat, oat, and rice.
Hello everyone, I am Sewami here. I love OCM, be it in the morning, afternoon, or evening.
Ready to eat?
This advert is FDA approved.
This is the
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
So make a baby, you know, I don't need me there, then I'm a I come to some as you see, what you
17 minutes past 8. We're still talking the tragedy of recruitment at Elwak. 6 ladies losing their lives in a stampede where over 20,000 young people had gone to be processed and screened for a possible job in the army. It reveals many things. There's a very interesting article online in the High Street Journal that says it's a confluence of many things. The respect for the military, and yet the desperation of many people, and also the poor standards in public order management. So we're coming back to it, but if you're an enterprise customer, then you should be acquainted with Advantage Points. Now, by making purchases, renewing policies, you get to win Advantage Points that can give you so many exclusive things. Go to my.enterprisegroup.net.gh or download the Enterprise Advantage app and get started. Join the Enterprise family now and buy a policy to enjoy this exclusive offer, which earns you points for rewards like airtime, mobile money, and more. Enterprise, your advantage. Start your day with the irresistible chocolatey taste of Twisco, enriched with Enerfort, a combination of energy-boosting minerals and vitamins, including B, C, D, iron, and more. At just 2 cedis, you can treat yourself and your little ones to a rich, delightful chocolatey taste of Twisco and power that dream. Simply mix with water, add milk, and stir and enjoy. The kids can't get enough of it. Now, we have the 20-gram sachet, the 400-gram sachet, and the 400-gram tin. Twisco, power your dream.
This incident is extremely unfortunate because we have come very, very far. Some years ago, everybody from any corner of Ghana had to come to Accra. Initially, it wasn't a problem, but then we realized that as a result of a number of factors, including the spike in unemployment, the numbers were increasing. So some years ago, the decision was taken to decentralize the first phase and have it conducted at the region, just so that the numbers will be manageable. That is where we have come from. Now, despite that, given that people were informed by text messages electronically, so there was a database of the numbers expected to congregate in Accra. And that number, we are told, is about 21,000 souls. Now, my analysis is that, Bernard, if it's true, as one radio station said, that 9 tables were set up for processing the 21,000, even if one person took 1 minute, it was going to take 38 working hours, not 38 working hours.
Wow.
Our working hours are not from 6 to 6, so that's not 12 hours. In other words, we required in excess of 5 days to process the 21,000 around the 9 tables, unless we set up more tables so that we could reduce the number. The whole idea is that the planning should have factored in the quantum of the people who were expected to congregate at Elwak, and that number was excessive. So they should have been grouped. Monday, X number to X number should arrive by text message. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Probably, if we had managed the numbers through the planning in this way and set up appropriate infrastructure, call it safety infrastructure, the stampede might not have occurred. Now, I'm not comparing the military to the police, but one of the last recruitments that former IGP Dampari did, we saw it on TV. He erected tents and deployed seats and water for these recruits to go and sit under while they were going through the process. Now, I happened to be going to Burma camp in the morning. From 37, I encountered this crazy traffic, and I didn't know what was happening ahead of me until I went through the traffic lights. And then all of a sudden, I saw, these huge numbers on the other side of the road, the airport side, the Elwak side, all across from one end to the other. And then whilst at Burma camp, doing whatever I was doing, I got the message that 6 people had perished. It's more about planning. Now, I don't want to doubt the integrity of the armed forces. So yes, there must be investigation. I think the armed forces must be credited with the honesty to do an honest job and investigate the circumstances under which the stampede occurred. And stampedes occur around bottlenecks when large numbers of people want to go through a small opening or avenue. You know, we need to come to the bottom of that, so that we can find the remedies to that. But we have got experiences behind us. This thing should not have happened in 2025. It shouldn't, given that we even resorted to the use of technology. So it's an accident that must happen, but we need to, get to the bottom of it. And as the president has said and the minister has said in Parliament, the event has been suspended, and then a new dates also will be announced. And I hope the new dates will spread the numbers across several days and not ask 21,000 people to come back to, Accra. On the compensation side, Bernard, as a human being, I've got a diary of occasions in which I might have lost my life. One driving a military vehicle that we call the Pin Squad. Assuming that I had died at the time as a lieutenant, and assuming that even in, the Champions days, because this was about 1975, 76, and so on, my family had been given 40,000 Ghana cedis, even assuming a Champions time. My wealth now is many, many times more than that. So this idea of computing compensation around 25,000 Ghana cedis, 40,000 Ghana cedis, is an insult. Doesn't take into consideration the potentials that these individuals that have lost their lives, might have realized. Any one of them could be a sergeant major, in fact, even as other ranks. In fact, these were going to be, I don't know whether officers or whatever, but even as other ranks, some of them could leave and go to university and come back, become officers, and one day be very high-ranking persons. So those who are going to look at the compensation must factor in the total loss to the families that are bereaved, and not this funny figure, 40,000 Ghana cedis. When every 4 years MPs go and take, I don't know, is it 600,000, that kind of stuff, Let's avoid compensation by getting the mechanisms right, and then everybody goes home happy.
It's about time that we actually develop the manual for these exercises. If me, as an individual, I go to organize a program at Elwak or Accra Sports Stadium, wherever, I will be expected to be guided by occupancy, dictate, where for every space, the National Fire Service have dictated the occupancy levels for every facility, and I'll be expected to go by those dictates. Today, if I were a musician and at my musical program, the place is overpopulated, overcapacity, and 6 deaths occurred, I'm sure I'll be seeing some lawsuits. And so if I were part of the members of these people who are dead, I will be talking to a lawyer by now, trying to rope in the Ghana Armed Forces, the Attorney General, and all relevant parties to this suit. Look, Bernard, we must grow above this. State institutions must be bound by occupational safety and health regulations, just as everybody is bound by those. Okay? And two, I am also very, very disappointed that our military, and I probably, Colonel Festus may disagree with me on this, our military over time is losing its discipline, whether they have to go into a town to go and appease the death of one of their own with so many human rights infringements, and nothing happened. Whether being called to participate in public safety, civilian public safety issues, they act in excess, people die, people get maimed, people's livelihood are thrown off course for their entire lifetime, and nothing happens to anybody. And so that indiscipline is growing. And if we don't take steps to address this, probably one day we are going to sit down and realize that we will not have a country again. So it is important that while we call for a halting of the program for reassessment to be done before its reopening has happened, it is important that we the investigations that are going to be done actually hold people accountable for this. Whoever had access to data, had access to sending text messages for so many people to come to one area, to congregate in one area for this purpose, those persons must be identified and dealt with so that we can build the military that we want.
So you heard earlier Ken Officer Sabuaji and later on Dr. Nanaya Wakwada of the Bureau for Public Safety speaking on the point of view. In studio, we have Francis Kakra Forsen, Richard Delaskai, and Caleb Kuda. 29 minutes past 8 City Breakfast Show. What do you make of the tragedy of yesterday? What can we do to prevent the further recurrence? The president has ordered the armed forces to suspend the Accra program. There were also 5 people who were sent to hospital in Kumasi. I think they are collapsed. Some of them were told were in difficult condition, but fortunately we haven't heard of any death in Kumasi yet. And some of the footages I've seen were not taken by official cameramen. So you have like amateur footage of the number of people who were there. It is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And there were lots of issues have been raised about the haphazard organization. But I also think there's an angle around desperation that we need to speak about. That 20,000 people in Accra. Look, the numbers are crazy. It tells you that we have a big problem coming up where a whole generation. Look, unemployment rate in Ghana, youth unemployment is 39%. Youth unemployment. It's crazy. So essentially, 2 out of every 5 young people who want to work don't have access to a job. We haven't even added underemployment and working in vulnerable jobs. The type of economy we are running is not creating jobs. We also need to speak about this. I was analyzing the budget numbers. About 49% of our tax revenue is used to pay government workers. Do you know that government workers are not up to 1 million? If you take all the people employed by government in the whole of the country together, it's not up to 1 million people.
Yes, yet it's taking so much of our budget.
I am telling you, this one is a number I have seen from the last figures. We have almost 40, let me get the right figure, close to 50% of 47% of our tax revenue
goes into wage bill.
It's in the wage bill. And the wage bill of all people employed by government, police, soldiers, teachers, ministers, all of them together, they are not up to 1 million people. Meanwhile, a lot of the government initiatives for job, people want work for government. It's not sustainable. No country can deal with this unemployment bout by just recruiting people into the government services. So the whole exercise was just for 4,000 people. As we speak, when we interviewed the Deputy Finance Minister 3 weeks ago, he said 75,000 people were ready to enter the teaching and another 70,000 for nursing, and they couldn't even employ them. And we are talking about a basic nurse, a basic teacher. So think about it. There was a guy there, in fact, yesterday in Kukon, a guy came to speak and said he had done nursing training 3 years ago and wasn't getting posting. So he decided to do poultry farming, and then they gave him 500 beds, and he's not a poultry farmer. So forget about the stampede. You have half of your tax revenue is paying less than 1 million people who are working for government. Another 150,000 people, teachers and nurses have been trained. The government is not even ready to employ them because there's no money. And you have 500,000 people writing WASI every year. 500,000 people writing WASI every year. So if you look at three cohorts, that's 1.5 million people. So if you look at a 10-year cohort, that's about 15 million people. Our population is about 34 million now. The places the economy grows from, all right, if you take our economy last week, they said services, when I looked at the data, the main sectors of growth now are services. Industrialization or industry, which is supposed to be the largest employer of people, because if you build a factory, let's assume you build a factory can employ the most people, right? Because let me give you an example. You can have a company in a room like this and produce $1 million worth of business in a month, because it's maybe services led. Maybe you are doing business product outsourcing, or you're doing some IT services. You can do it with 6 people. All right, it's not necessarily bad, but you see, if you have 15 million young people who need work, you are better off setting up a Kumfi factory where some come in the morning, or setting up CPC or GASM, do you know what I'm saying, or B5 plus. So even in the model for development, you don't want to just grow, because when we say we had oil, take the whole Talu, how many people do they employ? I'm not sure they're up to 100. Even if they're 100, right? Or the people, GMPC, of course, they pack the government places. But if you look at the private oil companies and the big oil boom of 2011, 14% economic growth, I don't think the number of people employed in those oil companies were up to 1,000. You get it? So you have an overstaffed government which cannot absorb anybody more. Go to BOG, go to GMPC, go to Ghana Gas. Plenty of people are there. I'm not sure what they are doing, but they are all employed. Every young person wants to work for government because it's security. But I'm not sure they are productive. Meanwhile, you are going through an era of what is called deindustrialization. Right? Most of the industrial enclaves are closing down. Cost of power is too high. Cheap imports. Your economic policy imports things cheaply and people smuggle it into the country. You don't make anything. So you're importing everything from China. Textile companies in Tema, in Akosombo, they've all collapsed. The shoe factory in Kumasi, you are not allowing it to work. The cement companies that employ, you are importing cement all the way from China. Everything you need to do to employ people, you are undermining it, because importers have money and they want you to allow an import lobby. You are creating a nightmare. I listened to an Indonesian economic minister at the World Economic Program, and they asked him, why are you banning the raw export of tin? Are you not doing resource nationalism? He says, don't tell me. He says, I don't want to hear that crap. He says, and Indonesia is one of the largest countries in the world. He says, I have, 100 million people to feed. I will not export my tin raw. I will create a factory to add value to, so I can employ people. He says, don't tell me about resource nationalism. Because when you people had COVID vaccine, you only sent it to us 2 weeks before it expired, even though you had more than 3 times the vaccine you needed. So when I have tin, I can also ban the import and insist that it be processed in my country. That's the leader who's thinking about his hungry citizens. Now let's look at our response to say, what do we do with our resources? We still export it raw. And we say we want royalties. So all the arguments about royalties, all the argument is about the fiscal regime. Nobody's talking about structural economic transformation to employ people. So oil sector, Talo will pay, ENI will pay, they will still add value, and you buy the finished product. Which is why I said, don't buy me chocolate from Switzerland. I won't eat it.
From Brussels.
Wherever you went to, because it is part of the economic narrative. And I'm diverting from military. But it's an important point that if you produce raw cocoa and you sell the cocoa beans to somebody, apart from those who drive the trucks and those who pack the cocoa beans, you haven't created any value. Meanwhile, cocoa processing companies in Ghana a year ago were struggling to get cocoa beans to even process to do their chocolate. Right? So you export the raw material, you don't add value, you don't create jobs, and you say services is what? How can services transform your economy? You are not even efficient. So you are not Ireland. You are not London City, where you can say high value services attract blue chip companies in a way that brings revenue. You don't have the economies and the capabilities to be competitive in services. You have to industrialize. You have to do agro processing. You have to get people into entrepreneurship. But there's no opportunity. I know people who have sat home for 4 years. I know somebody who has finished nursing, who is doing basically washing for people, or like maid.
Laundry. Nanny.
When we are tertiary institution, imagine the brain drain. A person has done nursing and for 3 years she can't get a job. So what's she doing? She's doing nanny work. A whole nurse. Our hospitals need people, but government cannot employ. The economy is not growing. So maybe Uncle Atu, this is a good opportunity for you before your budget. Sky said you probably should have postponed the budget. But in an interesting way, this tragedy gives you an opportunity to think about what you are going to present this afternoon. How transformative it is it beyond the political sloganeering? If we don't transform this economy, Sky, by the time you and I are 60 and we retire, that our vision that we'll go and sit in the voter region, put on a Igbetao, wake up in the morning, and just it may not be realized. We have a vision that in 15 years we will leave this work and we'll go and
it's not so long from now.
We'll build a house in the region and we'll just admire nature and just not listen to the radio. That vision is under threat. Because our children and our children may not be happy. They may even blame us. Because the kind of training we are giving our young people is still emphasizing white-collar jobs, which are not in existence. Meanwhile, your construction sector, the making things economy, plumbing, carpentry, shoemaking, sewing, catering, vocational and technical skills, these people are needed. A well-trained plumber can never be unemployed. If you train a plumber well, Sky, how much money does he need? You have been trained in that area. You know what I'm saying? Yet we have 500,000 people writing WASI. We still haven't emphasized vocational education. All of us are doing pre-sec at Achimota Holy Child. We all go and learn for 3 years in a secondary school.
Humanities.
We all go and read literature, English. We all want to work in a bank. It's not sustainable. It's not. Look at the guy who was talking. 20,000 people. He's speaking good English. Where is the vocational plan? You know, it's a multifaceted problem that requires a lot of deep thinking. And I really plead with our parliamentarians in the debate today on the budget. Let's stop those things. In our time, we grew by 6, you grew by 7. We are better. No, stop it. The need for Ghana is structural transformation. Whatever foundation is being laid now will only be beneficial if we can add an economic transformation plan. Agro-processing, gari factories, cassava starch, ethanol, econfi juice, sugar commander. These are the things we need to do to give our young people an opportunity. They don't need to come to Accra and come and hustle to enter the army. Yes, it's good to work in the army. 20,000, they can't put 20,000 people in the army immediately. They can't do that. Even if they stretch it, 5,000 is a lot of people. So please, there's also the economic dimension to this issue. In addition to the military needing a better way to do this thing we have tried to do. Let's take a few comments and read some messages, gentlemen and ladies.
So, for me, when I saw the pictures on the television, what screamed at me was the desperation of young people between 15 to 35, 18 to 35, desperate for jobs. They went to the Elwak Sports Stadium looking for hope, and in the end, that was dashed. Some of them have lost their lives, others are injured. I think that what you've just described, or the commentary you just did, Bernard, is our continuous, I don't know how to call it, paradox that we exist in as a country. And the more you think about it, the more you talk about it, the more fatigued you get. I dare ask if we shouldn't interrogate and renew the social contract that exists between the people and the governors. People continue to work and pay taxes, but the problems persist. This will not be the first time. We're just coming out of a situation where HZ9 helicopter, we're told had basic security features carrying high-ranking government officials. It appears that the people in place to solve our problems, either they find the task too daunting or they are not interested, but the problems continue to recur, sometimes in the same way. And all we hear is respectfully cheap political talk. That doesn't transform anybody's life. That doesn't change the situation in the country. That doesn't reset Ghana. You talked about doing business in Ghana. If you talk to any SME, small and medium scale enterprise, the problems they are going to tell you from their encounters with the state, it's almost as if the state doesn't want you to do the business and employ the youth, many of whom were at yesterday's unfortunate event. I think the people managing the country need to tell us if they are incapable of doing it, then we need to go back to the drawing board and rethink how we are going to go about the country. But to speak specifically to the Ghana Armed Forces, I think what happened was a colossal failure. And it goes beyond that state institution. It's a national failure. They failed to plan. Question number one I want the Ghana Armed Forces to answer is, what was their plan when they put that social media post out calling for people to come for the recruitment exercise? What was their plan? What numbers did they expect? What was their plan to manage those numbers? How were they going to supervise the entire process? What was the leadership in terms of the structures they had in place? We don't know that yet. To tell us that, Caleb, what did you say? An unexpected surge.
So maybe Caleb should read the statement, because the statement in itself reveals the mindset of the people.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't even think they've held a press conference to even explain themselves.
There should have been a prior communication.
I don't even know if they've apologized. I don't know if there's.
But they said they regret the first line. They said regress. Okay.
My point is that this is not an unexpected disaster. You put a communication out there for people to come for your recruitment exercise.
Exactly.
If you had a plan, what was your goal? What objectives did you mind? How many people did you expect to be there? And then how did you plan to manage your resources to organize the people who are coming? We don't know that.
It's not as if you said, "We'll be our person Army bra." You sold forms to them.
Exactly.
So
you cannot say
it's
that
not like we just said, like we have a Black Stars match. Who's going to come? We didn't know 1 million people will come. This one, you knew who was coming.
You sold out forms. So you cannot in your statement say an unexpected surge. I'm saying that if you had a plan and you sold out forms, you will have an expectation, a reasonable. In any case, you are. This is military. You will have a reasonable expectation of the numbers that were coming and how to manage those numbers. So you failed to plan. And if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And that's why we are seeing what
it's a maxim they teach in the army. I think it's for me, it's scandalous. I mean, they are the purveyors of planning. Army people, at least a little I know, when you read books about them, when you read Amwabin's book,
of people.
They don't leave any stone unturned. So I feel like the inquiry should not even be done by them alone. Clearly, somebody has failed them. And if somebody won't take responsibility, then it's unfortunate. Because you cannot tell me that this is something you don't know what's going to happen. 21,000 people coming to a stadium. How many stadiums are in Ghana, in Accra? Somebody even suggested, won't you let the people go into the Air Force, go to one place? You get it. You can't even do those things.
So you stagger it, how people are going to move. None of that.
I think maybe it's a whole general lackadaisical, lower standards, no accountability type of cheap. You know, in Ghana right now, we are very surface. So we are not thorough anymore. And it's affecting everything. Unfortunately, it's probably affected the army too. You know, because maybe it's part of the whole loss of quality in Ghanaian public life, which is now manifesting itself in poor recruitment process.
Bernard, do you see how this has a rippling impact on other things? So unemployment is no justification for crime.
Of course not.
I want to make that earlier disclaimer.
Very important.
But the main thing we are all fighting now is the ecological suicide we are seeing in terms of mining and illegal mining, right? So if I've been home for 10 years, I've been trying to find recruitment. Don't forget, 4 years ago in Bantama, some of the youth told me that they try to get recruitment and they have to know an MP, you must be on an MP's protocol list.
Otherwise, no chance.
Or someone is asking for 20,000, 30,000. And the argument was that, I don't have money, but I want to serve the nation. I want to put my talents and ability at the service of the... If I have 20,000, I probably will be doing something else. Now, in the face of all that, and then you have foreigners mining and taking our gold away. And you see the politicians coming to the neighborhood. You saw them before they went into politics. You see their life after, and you see how the resources that we all could be enjoying, a few people are enjoying that. It is difficult then for you to convince these people that they should not risk their lives. And by the way,
and do galamsey or whatever.
By the way, if you watch the videos of those who are doing the galamsey, it's a very risky thing. If it weren't rewarding, they wouldn't put themselves into that.
Young people.
Exactly. If we found more dignified jobs for our young people, or we made it easier for them to create more dignified jobs, I don't think many will risk their lives the way in which they are doing, to the extent that they are willing to risk their lives to fight army people who have been set up by the state to go and deal with them. So yesterday, it goes beyond the lackadaisical nonchalance or poor planning of the military. It spills into a psyche that will worry the fight against illegal mining. Because if me, after school 7 years, I don't have job to do, and in my village some miners are there and they call me, my friends come in, like, let's go and do galamsey, and you tell me on radio or TV that we are fighting illegal mining, I'm trying military, it's not working. I've been to teacher training, they are not employing me. I've been to nursing training, they are not employing me. And for some other reason, private sector too, it's not growing as well. There is a real problem, and so those who are managing the economy must think very deeply about the optics of this and how it will go to impact us in the very long run. One thing I'm just happy about, unfortunate as this situation is that if we're looking for a very profound story of the desperation of the young people, this is it. And these are the same people who are following the politicians on motorbikes during the campaign season, who are doing the Yazua Yaza and the Kukurudueshi. They have expectations of jobs. Every day, our politicians are saying, okay, some of them, let me agree. Every day they are saying, oh, we've secured jobs for these people, we've done this. This is the real test of the job you have created. Someone told us previously that we've created 2 million jobs. Out of those, how many of them are here?
The whole public sector has less than 1 million people.
Look at that.
And Scarlett, I think the point you make about the expectations of the youth for jobs in government, I always say that the political system you run has a bearing on the economic model you are able to do. If your political system rewards short-term thinking and sloganeering and populism, you're not going to create economic transformation with that. All right? So you need to, I think when you get into government, you need to get into state mode to say, we're going to do what is important for our people to have a better life. And I actually think if you do that, the politics will take care of itself. I feel like a lot of times politicians are worried that if they don't put politics first, they may not secure themselves in power. But I don't think Ghanaians are stupid. If you get power and you give people opportunity, people can start their own small poultry farm. If you do it well, if you get people to start their own plumbing, shoemaking, dressmaking initiative, and they know they have some income, they'll know. People can tell if their life is better or not. So I want to urge our political class not to think that seeking first the political kingdom in the sense of putting politics ahead of everything is the best way to go.
Correct.
Yesterday, when we were launching the Clock Indicator, I had a few people come to talk. I really hope that the way they are selecting these people who are beneficiaries is meritocratic or basically whatever. And also that they are being given the necessary skills to manage the poultry, the day-old chicks. Number two, if they start this poultry thing, we have to deal with the issue of cheap imports and smuggling, because there's always a demand side and a supply side. If you give people the chance to start their own business, and yet the economic policies you push, so whether they are into poultry, they are into maize farming or rice farming, or whether they are even working at a textile company, if your economic model allows cheap imports that displace local production, it's cost 90. All right. So there needs to be better coordination.
Absolutely.
Right. And I just want to urge, we've said Mahama won a massive mandate. I think he knows what he has to do. Let's hope the people he's working with understand the urgency of the task they face. Let's avoid looking for quick praise, premature celebration, setting your own questions and answering them type of public declarations. Because of the competitiveness of our politics, it's very easy for you as a minister to want quick wins. Yeah. We know that to transform a country takes more than 4 years, which is why generally governments get 8 years to do something. So I just want to urge the ministers, finance minister today, reading budget, agri minister tomorrow at AgriFair, please focus on the long-term structural issues. If you do, in a generation, we'll see the difference. Please avoid the temptation of playing to the gallery. Because it's very easy to do this. It's very easy to do it in every sector. Because, Kai, you notice that even with the way politicians talk on air now, in parliament, even not in Ghana alone, because of the mob, I call them the mob. The mob is basically social media and how they'll come at you. Mm-hmm. Even British parliamentarians now, they're looking for sound bites. Yep. If you monitor debate in the UK from the 90s and you compare debate today, somebody gets up, he knows that TikTok is watching him.
Yeah. Playing to the gallery.
Pine. It will trend.
Yeah.
Even the Ghanaians are also doing it. You see, and it's evidence. Think about it. If you can sacrifice rigor in debate, you also sacrifice thoroughness in policy. Yep. Because you also want a policy that can give you a quick... The problems we face will not be solved by sound bites. So, Mr. Atufosin today, forget about sound bites. Even if you don't check, it doesn't matter. It's a very somber day. Go in there and give us a plan that tells us you understand the long-term issues. Yeah. Number 2, Trade Minister, Agric Minister, Roads Minister, Transport Minister, follow suit. Let's avoid populist programs and projects. Let's think of long-term structural things that will give our people a chance to survive. I beg of you. Sound bites will come and go. Problems remain. You don't get better by doing something 100 times. Somebody said the army has been in existence for over 60 years or 60 years. You don't get better by just repeating something. You get better by learning from your mistakes. Right. So doing the same thing 50 times doesn't necessarily make you you can be experienced, but you can be an experienced failure. Yeah,
but the other thing, I know Sky will come in, but you saw the mistrust that the young people had in the institution. That even though you got the understanding that the military had tried to put in some system that, okay, guys, go home, tomorrow we'll take care of the rest. But they couldn't believe or trust that if they went home and they come back, someone else wouldn't take their place or something. We are trying to digitize, and the society that's digitizing will not work if the people don't trust that I don't need to know anyone for my document to be treated with the seriousness or dispatch that it deserves. For 21,000 people, clearly not everyone will get a chance to serve in the army or any of the services. But honestly, the mistrust in the system is a lot. And I think that those who have opportunity to lead various state institutions must work on that public perception.
Let me give you the last word to Sky, and then Kakra, you read some comments for us. I know a lot of people are wanting to have a bite. I know we've broadened the discussion beyond, but Sky, you can stay with yesterday. I mean, I have broadened it to the economy because it's budget today, and you made a point about the Minister for Defense acting. I think that there's an economic dimension which I've discussed, but I also feel there's a law and order, public safety, respect for citizens, accountability, leadership dimension that if you want to emphasize,
I think that's exactly the area that I'll go. And just to quickly piggyback on what you had said about what the minister should do as he's going in there. Yeah. That's why I said, these things take time. You can't make a policy decision between yesterday and today and go and read that to Parliament as to how to concisely deal with the problem that we face in the area of economic development and unemployment and all of that. That is why.
But he knows so. They know.
I understand. But you see, what did they say is at least take 1 week to reflect on what happened.
This information I gave you about 47% of tax revenue going into public sector pay. Yeah. It was the finance ministry that I found that information.
Exactly.
So they know.
So they know, what you have written may have been thrown out of gear by what happened yesterday. So what you do is to recalibrate it, and to take some time to actually do that. But getting back to where I stand on this particular matter. First of all, by close of day today, people should be fired. Or they should be resigning. We should not wait, or they should actually be interdicted. We should not wait for, let's finish the investigations first. Because, Bernard, Nobody in this day and age brings 20,000 people, youth together in one small stadium. This stadium,
decrepit stadium
that the Ghanaian Times warned us about last week.
Yeah.
And I raised the issue here.
Yeah.
And as we speak, people are lining up to secure that stadium for events in December to celebrate Christmas.
Serious.
Now, if the military, I mean, apart from going out of the country to serve in peacekeeping operations, or we deploying them to deal with internal problems, or going out there to fix roads and some other areas, what else do our men and women in uniform do? So let me talk about the stadium. The stadium is in a horrifying state. We have the 46 or 47 Engineers Regiment, whose expertise.
48 or something?
48, one of
40 something.
It's 40 something. I don't know. They are engineers. Now, if you have such a regiment which sits at the military camps, whose job it is to fix problems for this country, and who can fix their own problems, how come the Airwork Stadium is in the shape and form that it is in? How come we are not putting the hands of these men and women to good use as to ensure that that facility is always in pristine condition? Somehow, it did not occur to the schedule officer or the people responsible, or that it occurred to them, but they did not take steps to deal with it. Or maybe there was no money. But the military receives funding every single year from the national budget. So there can be no excuse as to the state in which the facility is in. That's the first point. So to even, after looking at the state of the facility, mobilize people to go there in the first place is a dereliction of duty that must be answered. Because there's a concept in law known as what? Occupier's liability. The state in which your house is may well pose danger to someone visiting there. And if someone comes there and there's a relationship or causation factor between the state of your facility and how the person got hurt, you have questions to answer, because there is an obligation imposed on you by law to ensure that people coming into your space are safe. Now, beyond that, and I believe that maybe the family people should be asking these questions, beyond that, look, we live in a day and age where modern tools are facilitating processes seamlessly. Artificial intelligence is there. We have CCTV cameras across the whole of Accra. So you cannot have a military that has an intelligence unit issue a statement and says that, oh, there was an unexpected surge. Jesus Christ. When you walk across 37 towards the military camp, the Airwork Stadium, you use the Ghana International School, the airport stretch, the one that goes to airport. All of those places have CCTV cameras.
Yeah.
Now, an institution that is properly calibrated, that is using its, its competencies properly. Let me use that deployment, right? Should be able to speak to the other agencies of state that have access to this facility. Now, with that, there's something known as computer vision. You are able to estimate that, oh, there are so many people using this stretch. Computer can tell you that you are expecting so much people within so much time. And it will help you properly plan for the set. You don't sit down for there to be a disaster and issue a statement when we have military intelligence and say that, oh, there was an unexpected surge. That is dereliction of duty. Culpability sits there, and the person in charge has got to answer. Now, again,
third one.
We have AI systems that can even help you determine how many people over a certain period of time can be processed efficiently.
Just a calculator.
That is also there.
This one is just a simple of throughput. This is basic operations. This is why I don't need AI stuff.
You see, there are very efficient ways of doing things now. How many tables you need, and how much time an applicant or a recruit can spend at a table.
To model it.
And how many people you can deal with within a space of 6 hours, so that everybody can go home. Right? The question is, in this day and age when warfare has changed, drones are fighting in the battlefield, autonomous weapons are doing all kinds of things. Do we have people in the military who could have said that, oh yes, it's possible to use this, let's deploy it? Was that conversation had? And did a superior officer take a decision to accept it or not accept it? These are questions that people responsible for the space must be answering.
Scott, to summarize what you're saying, yesterday we discussed the helicopter flight. What is apparent is that in Ghana, we do something so often that there's no need to change it. So sometimes disasters provide an opportunity to rethink. The tragedy with Ghana is that when disasters happen, we manyamilize it. You see, I want a word that I hope you
give it to God.
So that's we manyamilize it. So when we do that, we then lose the opportunity to implement reform. Which is why yesterday I could understand your angst around the decision not to even release the full report on the Z9 crash and the way the summary was presented, which appears to be in a hurry to simply blame the weather and then simply say, let's buy new equipment, without going into institutional and human failures that could have led to this. So in a sense, this LWAC thing is the same thing.
Yeah.
Where and so even though Hajia Ladi may not have meant evil in what she said, it's part of the national psyche that, it is the Lord's will, so let the thing just go. And if we don't deal with that type of thinking too, we miss opportunities that tragedies present, because in every tragedy is an opportunity. Okay? And the reason why the AI things you mentioned, all the things you said will not have occurred to anybody was that, it's working okay, or nothing bad has happened yet. That's how Ghanaians think. So what I'm saying is that for Ghanaians, they are only kicked out of their sense of comfort when tragedy occurs. But then we nyamilize it, and then we lose the opportunity. That's what I'm trying to say. So with the death of the 8, it could have been, never again should we put people in harm's way in the way we did.
A day later after the report, we did exactly that.
Then you can come to this one, of course, a different issue. Then you come to this tragedy as well, where you have a big opportunity to say, we are going to change, you are going to have a deep, so in certain countries, there will be a commission of inquiry. People will appear live on television to answer questions. Then there will be far-reaching recommendations to say, from now on, recruitment should be done as a rolling thing, known a must. So like, May 9 disaster occurred. I don't see any serious change implemented in the way we manage crowds. So we have two problems. We don't like to plan because we believe that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. When it gets broken and we're supposed to use the tragedy of the breaking to fix it, we say it is the Lord. So let's keep on doing the same thing we do. I feel like that's also a key issue. The mindset of the average Ghanaian and how we process these things is going to go a long way because you must be determined to implement change if you want to improve.
So much of it
as a society. So let's read a few comments, and then I think we've said a lot this morning. We can move on to other things. So, Kakra, if you can help me.
I want to just quickly in one sentence.
Okay.
I think that we need to pay attention to the young people of this country. Oftentimes, I feel that there's a lot of disdain in how we treat them, that they are not adults, they are young, etc. And the moral decadence that is happening in Ghana is affecting them too. Our young people now see the only means of improving their lives in terms of employment, galamsey, or securing a job
outside,
in the government.
Some of them.
Securing a government job. Granted, some of them. But that's because that is what they have seen. They've seen people go into politics and get their lives transformed. And they've seen people do galamsey and get their lives transformed. I think we need to pay attention to the young people.
100%.
Sky, you want to come in quickly before?
Read a few comments for me.
So the comments coming in, Chris Intema says, the political wastage by the political class over the past years could have made the economy much better to the extent that we could have opportunities to employ the youth. Bernard, on the issue of dreaming about your retirement, please forget it. Most of us in retirement had those thoughts too. But where are we now? Paul Willie in Ashali Boche says, Bernard, we are growing an army of young people who are no longer afraid to risk their lives in a bid to earn a living. That speaks to how desperate our youth have become. When news of the deaths of their 6 colleagues went viral and the soldiers asked the prospective recruits to go home and even beat them with the sticks as though they were cattle, they still chose to stay at the risk of losing their own lives. If that doesn't compel our leaders to think and act, nothing will. We will continue. We cannot predict how far this frustration of our youth and mistrust of processes will go, or on whom it will be visited when it ripens. A word to the wise.
It's enough.
Bernard and team, the Ghana Armed Forces know how many people they can screen at the Elwak Stadium in a day. The online portal could have been set to allocate applicants to different dates and even time, depending on this. It's just a plug-in you install in a website. Very simple. Even if they couldn't do this, send bulk SMS to the people and allocate dates. They died for nothing. I'm very pissed. That's Paul Effa in Iceland. Hi, Bernard. My current job isn't what I prepared for, and I'm looking for a new one. Seeing all those people in the line just broke my heart even more. Being young at this time is just hopeless. Kwame K sent that from Medina. Good morning, Bernard. I hope those who spoke and criticized the process will not be victimized. What happened is very sad, and I pray things will be done better. God help our nation, Ghana. This is Echo. After how many years of no enlistment, why didn't the GAF prepare better? They knew the number of applicants. Why didn't GAF prepare better?
Lots of comments.
They could have had several documentation points. Surnames A to E at Elwak, F to J at Nicholson Stadium, K to O at 5BN Square. Must we continue to queue for everything?
Very good suggestion.
Yeah, the U.S. Embassy in Accra handles far more applicants, yet you'll never see crowds flooding their gates because they plan, schedule, and manage the process with care. What happened wasn't just poor organization. It was a failure of foresight and responsibility. Lives were lost needlessly, all because simple measures weren't taken. Discipline and respect for human life must never be afterthoughts. My 2 pesos. Here's another one. Good morning, Bernard. Job security is why some of them will stop some jobs and get into the service. Condolences to the families who lost loved ones. Ernie sent that from airport. Good morning, Bernard and team.
Morning.
The same stampede could easily have happened at voter registration centers too. The same thoughtlessness and planlessness goes into so many other registrations in Ghana. Can't people be categorized and served? For example, all applicants or registrants with surnames AA to AD can be invited on day 1. Then applicants with surnames starting AE to AK can be invited for day 2, and so on until applicants with surnames starting with Z.
You notice served. A lot of people are saying the same things. Read the last 2 here. There's a long one sent by Apia Adumaku from CAT International on the platform that I want you to read before we move on to something else. So if you can read the last 2 from Jesse in Sakumono.
Okay.
Jesse says,
so Jesse says, Bernard and team, the military's handling of the recruitment exercise that led to the needless loss of lives at the Elwak Stadium is a huge disgrace to them. In a serious country, heads would have rolled and individuals responsible would be prosecuted. Bernard, trust me, nothing will come out of this so-called investigation. It's today the first time Ghana Army has instituted investigations into an incident. The last one says, good morning, team. I feel like we are a society that doesn't learn. I remember my time just yesterday. I applied in 2017 at Koforidua Stadium. It got to a time my hair became brittle because rain will beat you and the sun will dry you, all the while standing.
All right, there's a long one from Apia. Maybe I should read it quickly. Bernard and team, good morning. I've been following the discussion closely. What happened yesterday reflects a deeper national problem, a serious neglect of emergency planning and response. In this country, we often leave everything to God and hope things will go well, even when there's no plan. From churches and funerals to conference, schools and job recruitment, large numbers of people continue to gather in poorly designed venues without proper safety measures or emergency exits. Many halls and auditoriums have only one entry and exit point, turning them into potential death traps during emergencies. The confusion we saw during this year's senior high school reporting exercise where parents and students queued for more than 12 hours to complete registration shows the same lack of planning and respect for people's time and safety. In the United Kingdom, after the 1989 Hillsborough disaster, the government passed the Safety of Sports Grounds Act, giving local authorities the power to inspect, regulate and certify stadiums and large venues. Event organizers must obtain a safety certificate, provide multiple emergency exits and conduct regular inspections and evacuation drills. In India, the National Disaster Management Authority requires organizers of large gatherings to submit venue safety plans showing maximum capacity, exit routes and on-site medical facilities, all of which must be approved before the event. This is why CAT International Accra is calling for an amendment to the Public Order Act 1994, Act 491, to make it mandatory for all event organizers, indoor or outdoor, to comply with basic safety and emergency standards. Any venue that fails to meet these standards should be shut down until corrective measures are taken. At present, the law focuses mainly on the police and overlooks the important role of metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies in enforcing safety compliance. Expanding the scope of the law will ensure that organizers are legally obligated to protect the health and safety of participants. MMDAs must also be equipped and empowered to supervise, inspect and enforce these standards. Apia Adomako, CAT International. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back with more. Stay with us.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Protect yourself from germs and bacteria with confidence. Cleanse hand soap effectively kills 99.9% of germs with every use. Perfect for all your hand washing moments throughout the day. Available in a variety of variants and delightful flavors. Choose Cleanse for yourself, your family, and friends. Make Cleanse your daily essential. The GC brand. It's all about you. This advert is FDA approved.
Let's clean soap. Clean.
Abochuki baby de unya sankofa pepper soup where you know pepper sankofa pepper powder sheshe raw sankofa pepper powder me powder sankofa pepper powder me powder sankofa pepper powder
FDA aji ejade nkrato yatum.
The winning season is back, but this time I am collecting the wins like jollof at a wedding. The luckiest season 3 is here. Your chance to flip your luck or maybe your bank account too.
2 easy ways to join. Dial *712#. Hit 1 to buy for you or 2 to gift a friend. Feeling lucky? Pick 1 for a random number or hit 2 to choose your own. Pay with mobile money. Done. You're in.
Or go to the luckiestafrica.com, click community tickets, choose your number or let the system do so for you. You can buy a ticket for your boo or your favorite barber. Pay with Momo or card if you are abroad.
1 ticket could turn your 1 Ghana cedi into 500 times more. And the whole community could win 10 times over.
Dial *712# or log on.
Let's get lucky together because luck is everywhere.
Play responsibly, not for persons under 18 years. This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
If you're hungry and you know it, OCM. If you're hungry and you know it, OCM. If you're hungry and you know it and you really want to eat. If you're hungry and you know it, OCM. If you're hungry and you know it, OCM. If you're hungry and you know it, OCM. If you're hungry and you know it, and there's nothing in the fridge. If you're hungry and you know it, OCM.
OCM cereals comes in 3 varieties: wheat, oat, and rice.
Hello everyone, I am Sewami here. I love OCM, be it in the morning, afternoon, or evening.
Ready to eat?
This advert is FDA approved.
No money and payday is 3 weeks away? How do I fix this? Bank loan, account setup, long process. Nah, forget it. Let me see if Fafa can help.
That was Dada Joe before he called Fafa.
Yes, Fafa from Bank of Africa can sort you out fast. From engine repairs to school fees or side hustle support, Quick Fix Loan from Bank of Africa is here for you. Call 030-224-9690 or chat Fafa at boaghana.com and take advantage of the Quick Fix Loan for salaried workers offered at an unbeatable interest rate with no cash deposit required.
Promo is now extended to 31st December. T's and C's apply.
Hey, Fafa, wait here. Papa.
Bank of Africa, as strong as a group, as close as a partner.
Looking for a university that truly sets you apart? Academic City University Accra offers world-class undergraduate degree programs in engineering, business, informatics, and communication arts. And that's not all. Now introducing master's degrees designed to equip you with industry-relevant skills and global leadership capabilities. Study on a modern campus, learn from international faculty, and gain hands-on experience that sets you apart in today's job market. With over 15 student ventures launched and graduates thriving in top roles across Ghana and abroad, Academic City University is where future-ready leaders are made. Call now 0262-693-870. That's 0262-693-870. Academic City University, educating future-ready leaders.
Hey, so what goes into building quality structures? I mean, literally, what goes into it? Wujaf, you don't want to be sitting here somewhere worrying whether or not you did a really good job. It'd be a very simple equation. If there's no diamond cement in the mix, massa, forget it. Don't start cry. Menye, diamond cement has been providing builders, block makers, and construction companies that peace of mind for years. Diamond cement is 42.5 R grade cement. Unbeatable quality made right here in Ghana. And because we have your pocket in mind, we provide 32.5 R grade so that everybody getting on. No long talk, Jack. If there's no diamond cement in the mix, don't start. Locate Diamond Cement Ghana Limited nationwide with factories in Aflao, Takrade, and Buipe, or call 0244-313-368 or 0540-111-978 or 0202-021-175. Diamond Cement, still as hard as a diamond.
Join the conversation on the City Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
It's 20 after 9. One innovation that I have witnessed at first hand that I really love, the zip line in Ghana. From the Omenako station, we drove all the way to Orebon in the Kwewu East, somewhere Kwewu Skra, and the thing delivered the medical supply. I was so amazed, and the village people were also very excited. Now, Daniel Kweku Meki is the country director for Zipline in Ghana. You join us in the studio, so we have a little conversation about Zipline. How is Zipline doing, Daniel? First of all, welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, Zipline, I would say we are doing great. I'm still trying to fulfill our mandate to support the Ghanaian government for healthcare access, healthcare delivery across the nation.
Fantastic. Put together, how long has Zipline been in operation since it started here in Ghana?
Here in Ghana, yes. In Ghana, we have been in operation since 2019.
Okay.
So it's 6 years plus, and in that period, we have done significant deliveries, more than 800,000 deliveries.
More than 800,000 deliveries. Yeah. And then you do have how many stations across the country?
In Ghana, we have 6 stations.
Right.
Yes. And if we would have 2 additional centers in Ghana, so 8 in all, then we could cover really the entire surface of Ghana.
Wow, that's exciting. So let's look at the role of technology in shaping Ghana's growth and development, right? How are we bridging that gap using technology? How important is the whole Zipline innovation in bridging the gap, innovation, technology, and all of the challenges we seek to address?
I mean, Zipline is multiple things. I mean, sometimes I say Zipline is infrastructure, but when you look back, Zipline is also a robotics company, and then of course a logistics company. And when you look right now, we are in an age where I mean, we all know the hype and as well as the reality around artificial intelligence.
Correct.
And robotics ultimately is the physical manifestation. So it's an extremely critical technology. And one of the things that I would highlight is that in this particular instance, we are first, because Zipline Ghana is the largest autonomous delivery system in the world.
Zipline Ghana?
Exactly, yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Because I do know there is Zipline in other countries across the world, but you're saying we are the largest.
I mean, Zipline started out in Africa,
Yeah.
operationally. First Rwanda, Ghana was the second country. Currently, we are in 5 African countries.
Okay.
And yes, amongst those countries, we have done around maybe 1.7 million deliveries.
Wow.
And Ghana is somewhere in the tune of 800,000 plus.
Wow, that's almost like 2/3. Oh, that's interesting. So what would you say is the role of AI and robotics in healthcare delivery, right? Looking at the Zipline story, and how can we maximize that?
I think ultimately with technology, what you want to be able to do more with less. And I think we have been able to do that in many instances. You described how you saw the Omanako Center.
Yes.
But I think the fascinating part is that it changes also the patient behavior and many other things. Things are possible that weren't possible before. So you have to rethink the entire system.
Yeah.
So maybe if I can give an example, for instance, in the Ashanti region, there was a study and we reduced maternal mortality rates by 56.4%.
56.4%.
Exactly.
Wow.
So that's comparing zipline facilities to non-zipline facilities.
Right.
And what you'd recognize is it changed the behavior of the women, of the mothers that came in, because they now knew when they get to the hospital or to the health facility, they would get the required medication, the blood commodities, whatever they need. So they increased the number, the frequency in which they went to the hospitals, as well as, for instance, the in-birth deliveries, in-hospital deliveries.
Also because for most of the women in very hard-to-reach areas, their roads are bad. If they are pregnant and in emergency situations, transporting them in, again, rickety vehicles across very bad roads can be life-threatening. So taking advantage of Zipline helps increase the survival of pregnant women, right, when they are in situations like that. So how is coordination like? Because I mean, you're working with hospitals, you're working in unison with other healthcare facilities, right? How are you collaborating with existing healthcare facilities to deliver on your promise and potential?
I mean, ultimately, we are a service provider and a piece of infrastructure at the service of government and government's agenda. And I think another thing that people usually don't see is that the whole coordination goes beyond just the healthcare sector, right? We have to work with the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority, with the Air Force.
Right.
So there's a lot of players.
Right.
So even what I said earlier around Ghana doing so many deliveries, I think it's a credit to Ghana and to the overall different agencies playing a role. So now, but that being said, I think there is a lot of potential to still do more by further integrate, by utilizing the data, by ensuring that we really deliver the most critical commodities, and eventually even find ways and means to scale the technologies so that we can drive down the price. And the more we drive down the price as well, we can then eventually open up different use cases, even beyond health. So the integration is really critical. I mean, for instance, with Zipline, the estimation is that we saved more than 9,000 lives. Out of that, there is 1,600 from anti-snake venom, so from snake bites. And that could still be further expanded. And the example that you brought before, a CHIPS compound in a rural area might not be able to get that anti-snake venom. So it's not that maybe in another instance it would have just taken longer or in different ways. Sometimes really it's lives. And integration is the part that can really create a modern 21st century healthcare system for Ghana.
Because, for instance, in the last couple of weeks, the health ministry has been trying to vaccinate young girls and all of that. We're saying that we could use Zipline to increase the reach of that vaccination exercise, for example.
Exactly. And it goes beyond that, even in terms of wastage. For vaccines, for instance, there was also a study in the Western North. We have done a lot with vaccines in the Western North. And there was 42% less missed vaccinations. And ultimately, it's a new system, a new technology that then, as a result, has a new system. What I mean with that is, for instance, yes, you could drive out by car or trucks, but you would increase the wastage if you compare it to a centralized system where you're storing it and you're then delivering up on demand.
Right.
So it has a lot of effects. You can attend to emergencies, you can reduce stock outs, you can reduce the wastage. And back to the integration bit, the more you optimize for what you have, the better it is. So if you are trying to replicate what worked previously with a new technology, that might not be the optimal use.
Thinking about it, given as government cannot provide all the chips compound and healthcare services, being to the Omenako station, I saw where you refrigerate the, the blood samples, the critical snake venom and all of those things. So it means that even in rural areas where they don't have electricity, they don't have access to the grid, and they also have bad roads, you save a lot more when you work with the zipline technology, because then in terms of storage, you have facilities that properly keep them so they don't go out of. And then you also talk about data. So based on the demands, government can know what the healthcare needs of specific geographical locations are and focus on same. So integration again.
Integration again. And I think you pointed out something right now, which is you have to think of it from a systems level, right?
Yeah.
So the question is, would you want to build out cold storage across every little compound? Would you want to build out a cold chain and then the streets and all that infrastructure? So if you think around a system level, you have to utilize the technology at hand and then optimize the system. And I think Ghana, the one thing we already have these 6 distribution centers. We have Zipline as a leading AI and robotics company that is willing to commit to Ghana, commit to impact.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of
I saw the communications minister not long ago visit one of your stations. How is the government working with you? How are things looking like?
I mean, in terms of the government, I think what we are trying to drive at is that, and I mentioned it before, we are a service provider. We are an infrastructure, and really the guidance, the coordination needs to come from the government.
Right.
And that is what we are working on.
Right.
So ultimately, it is our will and our aspiration to deeply understand what does government want to achieve. Whether that is Mahama Cares, we can do a lot in the 24-hour economy. We can go on across different initiatives within the healthcare sector.
Right.
But then ultimately, once that is done, we can provide data, we can support, but really the guidance that we
must come from the government.
And use it the same way across different regions and streamline.
I get that. Very important. So let's look ahead and explore the role of technology, what it plays in deepening inclusion, boosting productivity, and what role Zipline is hoping to play in that future.
I mean, I think that Zipline is all about this.
Yeah.
I mean, I said before that with technology, ultimately, you want to do more with less.
Yeah.
And we can just have like examples of general purpose technologies in the past, right? In our context, or maybe even in the general Africa context, you can point at electricity and you can see that a technology that was developed over a century ago, we're struggling in certain parts with access, reliability, and everything. So what you want to ensure is that this time around, the modern technology, so artificial intelligence, robotics, we don't want 100 years from now to be lagging behind and be trying to do catch up.
Right.
And right now, that's why I was pointing out, actually, we are leading. So we need to sustain this. And I mean, again, integration, not healthcare sector, but even across, how do we educate, how do we get the right talent, right? Even at Zipline right now, we are employing more than 200 Ghanaians in very skilled jobs. How can we expand this? How can we ensure that one day we have an engineering center that is sitting here in Ghana?
Right.
All these are the things that we have to think around. And once we do those, then yes, we can take advantage.
Daniel Kweku-Meki, Country Director, Zipline Ghana. What you do is amazing. We wish you all the best. We're really proud of you and we're looking forward to greater heights for you. So thanks for passing through and sharing your story with us.
Thanks so much for the opportunity.
Wonderful. So prepare to be amazed. Ghana, Kumasi, Takrady, and Accra Royal Foam is bringing you the biggest sale of the year, Royal Wow promo. Wonderful discounts from 10 to 50% on all your favorite Royal Foam comfort products. Get 50% off Luna offers, 30% off beds, 25% off Chesterfield sofas, 30% off Adinkra L-shaped sofas, and up to 20% off mattresses. This is your chance to experience true comfort and style at prices that will make you smile. Hurry now and make your purchases. These wild deals are limited, available for only a limited time. 020-227-1000 is the number to call. It's the Royal Wow promo. Real comfort savings, real wow. Do you collect? Is your organization privacy ready? Do you collect and use information of people in your line of work? Their name, their number, image, location, email, bank account, etc., etc. Listen up. You might be doing the wrong things, whether you're a big company or a small one. You must respect people's right to privacy. Register and be certified by the Data Protection Commission of Ghana. It is the law. You will receive the necessary training, advice, and be guided on the right systems to put in place to help protect the information you collect about people. Register your company or business, organization, or association. It's simple and online. No need to move. Dataprotection.org.gh is where to register, or call 0256 301 533. Privacy is the responsibility of everyone. Remember, privacy is personal. So we are happy to welcome the team from God as CEO into the studio. There's a big conference coming up. I love the name, God as CEO, and the team is here in the studio. Doug Dwyer is the president and chief stewarding officer, God as CEO. He's here with a team of others, including Mrs. Patience Glee, who will be having a quick conversation with us. Doug, you're welcome.
Thank you. Good to be here.
I'm sure this is not your first time in Ghana.
No, it's the 12th.
Oh, the 12th. Amazing. How's it been? Is it changing? Is it getting better? How are you liking it?
Yes, very good. Look forward to it every year.
Excellent. So let's talk about God as CEO. This is a business encounter, right?
Yes.
So for the sake of those who are hearing this for the first time or have seen the billboards at vantage points in town wondering what God as CEO is, what's God as CEO? God as CEO.
God as CEO is all about the fact that God's called us as Christians to do business with love, with excellence and truth. And that's the three pillars of God as CEO. And this conference is about building excellent teams with God's blueprint. And his blueprint is, you think love is relational. How do we treat our people? Do we onboard them well? Do we train them well? Do we build good relationships, or do we just treat them like workers? If we do it God's way, you're going to get a lot better results because you're going to treat them like people, not just a worker, and that's what he expects.
Wow, that's very interesting. And your theme for the event is building excellent teams with God's blueprint.
Yes.
So what are some of the talking points? Who are some of the speakers? What should we look forward to? Patience?
Great. We will be addressing team building. We would have Mrs. Akosi Ansa Entry talk about creation strategy, how to build teams that are high performing. We'll also have Mr. Samuel Atamensa talk about servant leadership and team excellence. So we are going to understand the power of empathy, emotional intelligence in leadership.
That's a familiar name you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So Mrs. Akosia Ansentry is the Managing Director of Enterprise Insurance.
Right.
That's exciting. Who else is going to be addressing us?
So we have our very own Mr. Doug Dwyer here.
Right.
Who would also be on the panel, and he will be talking about proving systems for hiring and retention. We have Dr. Irene Stella Ajeni Boateng, who would talk about effective leadership for organizational growth.
Okay.
She is the vice chairman for the Public Services Commission.
And I see your moderator is one of my favorite people, Petra Abba Asamoah.
Yes.
Good. So we are really looking forward to this. Who is this business encounter targeting? The 11th edition. Who are our target audience?
It's anybody in business. If you're in a business career, you're a manager, you're a business owner, that whole gamut. It's to impact people that are going to influence other people's lives.
That's exciting. What are some of the feedback you've gotten from previous editions? As this is the 11th, there must be some testimonials that really warm your heart, keeps you coming back to this.
Yeah, I tell you, there's a lady that had a couple businesses. One was a chicken farm, and I remember she said, I'm leaving here understanding that I'm really the steward of everything God's given me. Right. And my people are one of the most important. Christ came to die for people, not for businesses. And so I need to treat my workers like people. And here's the powerful thing. If you will treat your people like people, not just workers, and you care about them personally as well as professionally, you're going to have better performing people. You're going to have retention. They're going to tell others, hey, you need to come work here.
That's exciting. And we have many accounts of how, our bosses have helped us stay and grow, treat us as people and a key part of the business. And that's where the growth always comes from, because I'm sure in previous times you were interviewed by a different person. Now you see me here, you see the growth. So yeah, we get it. It's happening there. So where is it happening? When is it happening? How can we be a part of it? I'm sure, Patience, you want to handle that.
Yeah.
Great.
So this is happening this Saturday, which is
this Saturday.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is the 15th of November, and we are starting at exactly 9 a.m.
Okay.
The venue is the Chartered Institute of Bankers Ghana,
right,
which is at East Legon.
Right.
And we have a surprise for you. We have Mr. Tom Wright, who is also going to be there in the session.
Tom, how are you? Tom is in the studio.
Very
You're a
good.
board member of God as CEO.
Yes, sir.
So you'll be speaking there as well.
Yes.
Wonderful. What should we expect when we come around?
We're going to be teaching how to hire the right people and just trust in God. Let go and let God. That's what we're doing.
God is interested in how we hire people.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
we will learn from your experiences and your wealth of expertise. That's very important. Okay. Back to you, Patience.
Yes, so I want to say again that we have very few seats left.
Okay.
So if you really want to be there, I want you to put down this number and call us now.
Yeah.
055
055
045
045
4700.
Okay.
055
055
045 4700.
00. Okay, so that's how we can get in touch and grab a copy of tickets.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
And you have limited seats.
Yes.
There's someone else sitting next to you. I want to hear him. Hi, sir. Introduce yourself briefly and tell us what we should expect when we come for the 11th edition of God as CEO.
Yeah, well, it's really about putting God in the center of our lives, right? So when we make him our focus, not only does he bless our business, but he blesses our lives. And our whole purpose and mission is to fellowship and witness to others. So it's really about walking out that obedient Christian life and watching God do his work. So we're focused on him.
So in one word, this is God in the marketplace.
Absolutely. Exactly.
Amazing. I love it. Let me take your final word, Dog, and then we can wish you a very successful event and trooping on Saturday.
Yeah, so I would say God gave me a title for the company because I promised God I would never be CEO. So I looked at God as CEO back over 22 years ago. Right. And here's the reality is everybody listening, you're a chief stewarding officer of everything God's entrusted you with. Right. And so come learn how to do that well so that you can have a more blessed business and career from an earthly standpoint, but have your life count as a Christian for eternal impact, not just temporal impact.
Amazing. Thank you so much for passing through. Patience, you want to say something finally?
Yes.
Okay.
To add to what Doug said, I want to appreciate our sponsors, Rivia, Wopeka, and Amalina for helping us on this journey. And we want you all to come there and see the amazing stuff they are doing in Ghana.
We are going to be there. Thank you, team. All of you from God as CEO is happening on Saturday at the Chartered Institute of Bankers Ghana, East Legon, Accra. Call the number once more, 055 045 4700, 055 045 4700, and be a part of the 11th edition of God as CEO. Team, thank you for passing through the studio.
Awesome. Thanks for having us.
Many blessings. Have a good one.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
It's been 25 years since the Kosovo International School 2000 year group graduated, and we are back to celebrate our silver jubilee. Join us as we hand over our legacy project, the refurbished ICT lab, at the 50th speech and prize giving day of our alma mater on the 15th of November 2025. Also celebrating their 40th anniversary with a legacy project is the class of 1985, sponsored by Knutsford University, E-Cube Technologies Ghana Limited, BKT Engineering, Gilo Company Limited, Matt Bands Furniture Company, Nestle Ghana Limited, Togbe Agbefle the First, Absent Mobile Solutions, Volta Hotel, Bridgeview Hotel, The Royal Senchi, Media Partners, XYZ Broadcasting, Joy FM, City FM, and Channel 1 TV. Akosombo International School. Truth is our light.
Finding as he promised, perfect peace and
Looking for a burst of flavor in every sip? Discover the refreshing taste of Piva beverages. Enjoy the classic Piva Cola flavor, perfect fit anytime. How about a fruity adventure? Try our delightful Piva orange fruit drink packed with recognized citrus flavor. Craving something exotic? Our Piva cocktail fruit drink brings the tropics to you. For a sweet and juicy treat, grab our grapefruit drink and don't miss out on the refreshing Piva tangerine fruit drink, bursting with tangerine flavor. Piva Cola, Piva Orange, Piva Cocktail, Piva Grape, Piva Tangy. Grab yours today. Available now at your local store. Call us on 055-00-32231. Piva, a taste you love. This advert is FDA approved.
P for Piva.
If you know these sounds, you didn't just live through the 90s. You lived the experience. Back then, connection took minutes. Today, it takes a blink. You express yourself with memes. You hold video calls across continents. You say hey to an AI who responds,
"Hello, Kwame."
You order rides, dinner, and dreams all from the palm of your hand. A lot has changed, so have we. For over 3 decades, EcoBank has evolved with you, leading digital banking in Ghana and across 33 African countries, pioneering solutions built around how you live, move, and dream today. From our express points to EcoBank Pay, online banking, and the mobile app, we are where you are. Here for today, ready for tomorrow. Now, that's change, powered by EcoBank.
EcoBank, a better way to bank your way. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
It's time to take the next step toward your dreams. Admissions are now open for our January 2026 intake at Lancaster University, Ghana. Experience world-class education, global opportunities, and an unforgettable experience right here in Ghana. For more information, contact us at +233 030 221 8989 or send an email to admissions@lancaster.edu.gh. Apply today and begin your journey to success with Lancaster University, Ghana. Your future starts now.
And where do you think you're going?
To train in the garden.
With my broom?
Mom, it's a javelin.
Oh, really? And that plate?
That's not a plate, it's a discus, Mom. We are training to become winners.
Well, you know you need lots of energy to become winners. So you both better start your day with Twisco before you go anywhere.
Besides its great chocolatey taste, Twisco is enriched with Enerfort, a blend of energy-boosting vitamins and minerals for little winners.
Thanks, Mom.
Got to keep my little winners in shape. Twisco, power your dreams.
This advert is FDA approved.
It's the Electroland Xmas are picking warmer promotion. Citi is appreciating and Electroland is offering. Buy Nasco LED TV from 699 Ghana cedis, and when you buy Nasco French door, you get a free 5-gas cooker. Buy Nasco 425-liter chest freezer and get free 24-inch TV. Now buy the 545 to 800-liter Nasco chest freezers and get free tabletop fridge. Buy selected TCL smart TVs and get free TV wall brackets, air purifier, and professional monitor. Or you can buy TCL side-by-side fridge and get free 24-inch LED TV. Buy the Samsung QLED 4K Neo TVs from 65 to 100 inch and get your free music frame wireless speaker. Buy Samsung DuraCool Twin Cooling Plus and get free blender or 4-burner gas cooker. Now rush to Electroland showrooms or authorized dealers in Ghana. Call 050-315-9339 or visit www.electrolandgh.com.
Join the conversation on the City Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
Happy Global Customer Service Week from all of us at Omnibasic Bank. To our valued customers, thank you for choosing us. And to our beautiful, dedicated team, you make service excellence mission possible every day. Have a beautiful week. For more information, call us on 030-708-6000. 030-708-6000. Omnibasic Bank, not just another bank. I have two amazing people in the studio to talk about digital assets and blockchain and all you need to know about these. Mimi Kufuor is country manager, Coin Ghana. Did I get that right?
You did, yes.
Coin Ghana.
Yes.
Wow, what does that mean?
I mean, it's basically a coin with a K.
Ah,
so,
a coin with a K.
Yeah, digital assets, there's usually represented by coins.
This is a coin with attitude.
Exactly.
And then we have Del Titus Bewa. He's the VP at Chamber of Digital Assets and Blockchain Innovation. Ladies and gentlemen, good to have you here.
Thank you.
Great. So let's talk a bit about the Chamber of Digital Assets and Blockchain Innovation, right? Who are you? How long have you been here? What have you been up to?
Yes, so essentially we are a group that has been put together to be a voice for the stakeholders in the Web3 ecosystem. By Web3, I mean virtual assets, crypto, blockchain. And the objective is to be able to work closely with institutions like the Central Bank of Ghana, like the SEC, and give larger context of what's going on in the ecosystem, whilst also being able to understand what the institution hopes to achieve when they launch the virtual assets bill, which is due at the end of this year.
Okay.
And so we tackle everything around education and literacy. We discuss policy framework, and obviously compliance is a very, very big point when it comes to this space. And so that's what we've been doing. We've been doing that for some time, but we've been more effective this year due to the fact that the virtual assets bill is going live at the end of this year. And we will continue to do so and be a voice and have periodic meetings with the institutions to ensure that the industry is well represented.
Ahead of the passage of the virtual assets bill, the crypto blockchain, it's a big conversation in several spaces in Ghana, and many have been talking about the regulation. There seems to be some interesting relationship between regulators, practitioners, whether or not it's a space that Ghana has opened up to, whether you can do that legally. And also, since we're on a public education campaign this morning, let's talk to Ghanaians more about that kind of relationship. What's Ghana's position on this? How are we doing?
Yeah, so as a matter of fact, based on our conversations with the central bank, it's very high on their priority list to make it very simple, so that the locals can understand. And when I say the locals, I mean like your general trader, somebody who might not necessarily be in a digital or virtual assets space, but who thinks that there could be some benefit or extension to their business using it. Right? And letting people understand that, when you talk about virtual assets, it's not just crypto, right? There's a whole infrastructure around it. Remittances or OTC transactions are a key component to it, right? And so what is currently happening is there is an educational and literacy initiative being put in place, and the objective of that is to have some sort of booklet with code that people can understand the basics around the industry and interpret it in a way from a local standpoint, even in local dialects, so they can get larger context. And these are all part of the plans when it comes to making the public aware of this industry.
Let me bring Mimi Kufo into this conversation, please. Add your voice.
Yes, I mean, I'll sort of echo what Del said. I think, the key here really is just for people to have a basic and simplistic understanding of digital assets. As Del said, it's not limited to crypto. There's the blockchain, which can do a whole host of different things: digital identity, supply chain transparency, so it's not just one thing. So there's a whole breadth of things just across blockchain, crypto, digital assets that it covers. And I think, just giving people a very simple and basic understanding of how it works is really the key to building trust, so that people, can, transact in the digital currency, and, they have faith and confidence that the central bank is regulating it and protecting the users that are using these exchanges, platforms, digital currency, what have you.
Very important. So what initiatives are you leading in driving the National Literacy Initiative and building trust around blockchain and virtual assets? Dale earlier talked about having educational materials in the local languages of the everyday people so they can get to understand and build trust. Beyond that, how else are we exploring this? Because a lot of people still think it's a bit abstract, or they feel it's something among a few geeks and IT elitist groups who are doing blockchain. Some have even raised some have even say, in Ghana we don't do blockchain, like I earlier mentioned. So what's the kind of perception people have on the street then? How would you correct those?
So one thing to take into account is that the launch of the bill is pivotal to this, right? So there are a number of discussions that are in place, or a number of initiatives that are due to be rolled out, but I think it's still a bit premature to kind of like go into the details of them, not out of secrecy, but actually out of confidentiality. That's right. But what I will say is that, some of the things that we are doing is we tend to do a lot of things around hackathons and meetups and bringing the regulator and companies like CoinCoin together so that there can be very open, transparent discussions about the pros and cons, risks and advantages in the industry. And, I'll let Mimi speak further to that. There are a number of things that companies like CoinCoin do support in Ghana to ensure that people understand the industry and get to know more about it, right? Don't know if there's anything you want to add to that.
I think one of the key things that we're collaborating with the Chamber on is campus activations.
Campus activations.
Yes, so we do have a very young, tech-savvy, population just across Africa and in Ghana
catching
as
them
well.
young.
Yes, exactly.
Like
and I think it's key that we sort of, get, the university students on board, understand what's going on, just give them sort of 101 sessions on blockchain, crypto, so they understand, I'm pretty sure sort of everyone has a grandmother or an auntie that they can also educate. So it'll be easier that way if we have the young people who truly understand it at a simplistic level are also able to sort of educate their own family members and their friends. So, campus activations is one of the key things that we're sort of taking a lead on.
I like that.
And I think, once we are able to educate, university students, once we are even able at some point, I guess, in the future, even get it into the curriculum of schools, then, it just becomes everyday conversation.
That will be exciting. Now, what beyond the technology, right? What would you say is the potential of blockchain and digital assets to create economic opportunities for ordinary Ghanaians? We like money and economy things. So, what's the opportunity for everyday people?
I mean, there's so much. Blockchain, crypto, digital assets in general is, it's solving for very simplistic problems across Africa. Cross-border payments, just a store of value. We have sticky inflation, the currency fluctuates. So there's a lot of opportunity there. I think even just trading across from Ghana to Nigeria, there's a lot of sort of commerce there that we can, tap into. But I think, the key really is just to sort of educate people so that they feel safe and they're able to transact safely using these sort of platforms and
Nice.
stuff.
Dale, you want to add to that? Because on the African continent, we're seeing a very youthful population across, and we are told in the next 25 years we're going to have X number of young people. And we're going to be more than any other continent. So, what's the opportunity here, both for us as a country and then across as Africans on the continent?
Yeah. So if you look at the data, right,
Yeah.
there's about $200 billion worth of transactions when it comes to the actual crypto market as a whole that comes out from West Africa alone. Obviously, Nigeria being the bigger.
200 billion.
200 billion. Yeah, it's very, very huge, and it will continue to grow. However, obviously, we are biased, but from our standpoint, there is massive economic upside for Africa.
Right.
One asset alone in crypto, Bitcoin, is easily north of 1 trillion, depending on what time or what side of the market you wake up on. But in general, that's very positive, and I feel that this is where a major increase in Africa's prosperity is going to come from. But on a more basic level, someone, let's use Kojo, is selling materials in somewhere in the north and wants to sell across to someone in another country. We have seen the power of mobile money.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not that Africa is, we're not
Detached
used to
from it.
We understand how that
digital.
technology exactly.
Right.
And so this is just another layer
Right.
that is a lot more innovative and will build strong interoperability regarding trade.
Amazing. The future is exciting. Mimi Kufuor, Dale Titus Bewa are part of those architects who are building it today, even before it becomes a reality. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for passing through the studio with your campaign on digital assets and blockchain innovations. We wish you all the very best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
You make us sell my shop, sell my things, below. When I'm Agades, when I'm with the Lubu Desert, when I'm a Madame Asaba.
Next time you fly with the family from Accra, why don't you fly better with Emirates? On Emirates, everything's taken care of when you're traveling with the kids. If you're fussy eaters, you don't have a problem at all. We have great meals for them, and they will never be bored as well. We have dedicated kids and family channels, non-stop all fun, all the way for little explorers, free toys like new cuddly friends, cool activity parks. You get so much more in Emirates economy. Find out more at emirates.com. If you're looking for a best of flavor in every sip, please choose Piva Cola, Piva Beverage, Piva Cocktail, Piva Grape, Piva Tangy, Piva Beverages. We've got you 0550-032-231. Piva Beverages, a taste you will love. And for all the entrepreneurs, women, young people, people running SMEs, we got something exciting for you. African Prosperity Dialogue in 2026 is coming your way from the 4th to the 6th of February 2026. It has an awards component as well. We will explore how to take advantage of the 1.5 billion consumers on the African continent. You don't want to miss out. AfricaProsperityNetwork.com is where to register now. Call or WhatsApp. In fact, WhatsApp 0536 098 325. Bless you. Thank you for being a part of our day. And did you know that your plans don't have to wait for paperwork at ABSA? We see your story and understand life's urgent needs. That's why ABSA offers instant loans through ATMs. No forms, no delays, nothing. 24 hours, flexible amounts, access to funds. Just come to us, visit our website absa.com.gh or speak to your relationship manager today. We see your story and we invite you to write it with us. Your story matters, ABSA. Hey, good morning.
Good morning, Kayla.
What's in the news?
Coming up, Finance Minister to present 2026